Oh boy. All right, let's see if that. Okay. I believe that we are feeding out to the folks out there. Let me know if you guys can hear us loud and clear out there in the world. I'll give it a second or two here to get some confirmation from the folks. But if you can hear me, let me check my audio. Also, if you guys can hear us, you're joining us live on Utreon, so we could hold shooters, guns, including this one, which we will be talking about. Hold on, let me go full screen here tonight because we've got Rondan of Trailblazer Firearms. He's on. I gotta hide the. Let's see, can I get this thing to? This is so tiny, Ron. So tiny.
If not, I can get it here.
Boom! There we go. There we go. So, including guns like this, we can actually handle and hold them while we're live on the show. Oh, hold on. Oh, look at that. There you go. All right, it's going to be a competition tonight. So that's why we're on Utreon, in case you guys don't know. We do it here because YouTube won't let us do it. So if you want to join us live, go to Utreon/Who Moved My Freedom podcast. That's the place to find us. If you're listening to this on audio, all around the world, we've got folks listening to us. If you want to know how you could join us, go to Utreon/Who Moved My Freedom. Oh, Babyface is dialing in here. I'm not even sure. I'm not getting any kind of feedback from anyone as to whether or not we're feeding out. Okay, you got the email? Okay, so hopefully we are feeding out there. I know there's a little bit of a delay on all of that. So, okay, we got Babyface here too. That being said, hold on, let me see. I got to set this up a little bit differently. We got to go Oreo cookie style tonight for Babyface. Boom, there you go. All right, let's get the show kicked off here.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange Situation, Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Franklin Armory. Franklin Armory provides 100% US-made firearms and awesome binary option triggers. Their focus and purpose is to provide freedom tools to all Americans, especially those in not-so-free states. So when you're in the market, please consider Franklin Armory. All right, let's see. It looks like we're feeding out to the people out there in the world. I believe that we are, from what I could see. Night Train says he has the LifeCard, so there you go. As you guys come in, smash those arrows up, leave your questions and all that. Let's do this the traditional way. Ron, we do this thing called jazz hands here. It's kind of like an icebreaker. Everyone has to do it. There you go. We are live. I hope you guys have your big girl panties on. This is episode 974 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. Our guest tonight is... for the first time, you know what? Listen, hold on a second. Hold on. This is gonna listen, Babyface. This is a momentous occasion. This is the first time in history, okay, that someone else who was born in the same town as myself, in the same country, in the same part of the world on this planet of Earth, is actually joining us, Patrick. Can you believe that?
That's a big deal.
There you go. Rondan of Trailblazer Firearms. For whoever doesn't know what that means, we will explain it to you, but it's a big deal. Ron, welcome to the show, man. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks so much for having us, and we really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, this is fun. I'm looking forward to this. And, of course, we've got Mr. Babyface P, not born in the same place as me.
Not even looks or time or any of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's pretty happy about that.
That's
born in Tampa. The only, you know what? I'll tell you what, Patrick. Tampa's not a bad place to be. You get a free dolphin tattoo. You know what I'm gonna say. When you're born here, he doesn't. Ron, did you grow up in Florida, or we'll get into this. We'll get into this here.
Hank thinks that Tampa is Miami. Clearly.
I mean. The University of South Florida is there, so I would think by that logic it is close to it, right? Or it has to be.
Not even how many? 6 hours to Miami? It's not even close.
No, it's like 4 hours if you just drive down 75 and then take Alligator Alley over. It's not too bad.
Yeah, Florida man is going to be in effect tonight. It's also Free for All Monday. I guess I don't know. I don't even think I put that in the title. But it is Free for All Monday. Walter, I think, is under the weather or something's going on with Walt. But I think he's okay. He's all right. He's alive. He's communicating. But he's not going to be able to join us here. Shout out to Walter. It might be date night or something like that for all I know.
You know what? That seems possible.
Yeah, there might be some occasion that Walter cannot actually be on the show because he has to handle his husbandly duties. So we will deal with that. So yes, Ron, welcome to the show. Do you want to let's start with this. This is a traditional question. You are from Trailblazer Firearms. Do you want to tell the folks out there who you are, how you came to be doing what you're doing, and what the company does?
Absolutely. So I'll go into a little bit of my history first in the firearms industry, and then I'll tell you about Trailblazer Firearms and the amazing things that we're doing over at Trailblazer Firearms. So I was born in Guyana, down in South America, same place where Hank was born, and in a town called Georgetown, and grew up in South Florida. Went to school at a school called University of Central Florida in Orlando, and that's how I started professionally in the industry. Oh, good. Go Knights.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So,
my younger son goes there right now. He just went back to school today.
Oh,
yeah.
perfect.
So
All right.
go.
So we got a lot of smart people in the crowd, right?
Probably not me. Probably not me. Not by default.
If you don't mind aging yourself, what year did you graduate?
I graduated from UCF in 2010.
Okay, you're like 2 years older than me. I was 2000. I would have been. I was a late bloomer. I should have graduated. You're a year older. 2011, but I prolonged my college experience to 2013.
Oh, perfect. Good.
Prolonged.
And
That's code. Let me tell
That's
you, Ron.
code that I was a C's gets degrees type of student.
Okay. That was code for lots of drinking.
Hey, well, it's an easy school to do a lot of that at, and I actually I did take 5 years and pursued a minor and everything, so it was I had my fun while I was at UCF. But also part of the reason I took extra time there is I was working. So I started by shooting with my dad in South Florida. That's how I started in guns and kind of created this little bit of an obsession that I have now with all of that, and it was my favorite thing to do. As a kid. So if you wanted me to get anything, if you wanted me to get good grades, anything like that, then just say, hey, I'll take you shooting. And that was how you won me over. So when when my father passed in college, I actually started going to the range a lot. It was kind of my way to connect with him. And through that, I was going to the range so much that the owner of the range, his name's John Ritz, he said to me, hey, if you're a college student, you're going to be coming here a lot. If you want to throw on a polo, I can actually pay you to work here, and you'll get to shoot for free, and then you'll learn everything you want to learn about guns. And I knew very, very little about guns, all things considered. So I said, that sounds like a dream job. And I was working at Chipotle at the time, and I quit my job at Chipotle. And 2 weeks later, I started at East Orange Shooting Sports, and have been in the firearms industry professionally ever since. And that was a little over 16 years ago, coming up on, a little over 16 years ago. So,
wow, that's awesome.
And so I worked there for 3 years out of college. As soon as I graduated, I went and worked for a company called RSR Group, which is the largest firearms distributor in the country, or one of the largest in our industry by far. And so from there, went to go work for another distributor in Chattanooga, Tennessee, called Chattanooga Shooting Supplies and Natchez Shooting Supplies. From there, I worked for a company called Vertex, which is really well known for making world-class backpacks and clothing.
Yes, that's, I think, where I met you first, right?
Absolutely, yeah, that is where we first met. And actually, when we first met was through a friend called Jacob Herman when he was at Century Arms, and that's where you and I first met. And
I don't even remember that.
Yeah,
but
so
Jacob
that was
Herman, I do know. Jacob Herman's kind of famous.
Famous and infamous, right?
Yes, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, Jacob and I's friendship really solidified when he took me to Africa for my first time to Africa, and now I'm pretty much over there once a year.
Cool.
But so that started another passion of mine. But so from Vertex, I went to go work for a consulting and private equity company in the industry called Stripe Group USA, one of the companies that they're really well known for is Polymer 80, back in the heyday of Polymer 80 when they were doing all the 80% kits and everything like that. And then from there, I went to go work for an amazing company called Trailblazer Firearms. And Trailblazer, I've actually known the owner of Trailblazer since he first launched the LifeCard, almost 6 years ago. And when it first went out, when the press release first went out on this LifeCard, I was a buyer for that distributor, Chattanooga Shooting Supplies, and I was the first person to call the owner of Trailblazer, Aaron Voigt, and I said, hey, I'd like to buy these guns. And that's where our friendship kicked off. And he had actually met his wife in Chattanooga, and that's where they had started their whole relationship. And so he had a special bond to where I was living at the time. But this is how the company was founded, was with this gun right here called the LifeCard pistol, which is from the first product from Trailblazer Firearms. It's a single shot 22 that folds up to the size of a credit card. So, if I were to show you an actual credit card, this gun is the same size as that. And I'll
just don't show us the numbers.
No, this is actually here.
Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want some gun charges on there, if you want to see,
this is like a gift card, but so you can see this gift card here. It's the same exact size, and so essentially this gun unfolds, and then you have a single shot 22 that you can tip the barrel up, put a round in there, and then pull the striker back and fire. And then it allows you to reload with extra rounds. I put some in here to display, but for 22 mag, it'll hold up to 3 extra rounds. And then we make a version of this gun. Originally, it was done in 22 long rifle, and the 22 long rifle will actually shoot 22 long, 22 short, and 22 long rifles. So if you get some 22 shorts in that compartment, you can get like up to 6 rounds, depending on how creative you want to be. We make it in all different cool colors. So we do it in all different types of grays, greens, tans, everything like that. And then we make it in a lot of really fun colors. So anything that you can think of. So white, pink, blue, purple, anything like that at all.
I wonder if you go, Babyface right now, I could read his mind. He's thinking, is there an all baby blue version?
No, I'm looking at them right now. Marley would love this LifeCard Confetti Clown version.
Wait,
she would be all about it.
Hold on one second.
That's this one right here that you're looking at.
Oh, is that what that is?
No,
yeah, so it's all different types of colors.
Oh, that's right. That is true. Mm-hmm.
And we try to make it to where, there's no, not all of these are the same exact combination of colors. So we make them to where they're all different types of combos. We make them with different parts from all the different colors that we have out there. So it's actually pretty neat. And then the newest version of the LifeCard that we have, which Hank has, is our threaded barrel LifeCard, which is the world's smallest and lightest suppressor host. That's in production today. And then it's actually also, what we call the most discreet suppressor host that's out there. So it's standard 1/2x28 threading, and it allows you to put on whatever suppressor you want. So, it's actually really cool if you put on like a GSL pillbox or one of the old Gemtech pillboxes on it. But it is stupid quiet.
Or like one of these. I noticed you've got a big Dookie suppressor on there relatively. Have you seen, you know what? I thought this company was out of okay.
They are out of business. As far as I'm aware,
are they out of business?
I went looking for them, and they don't seem to exist anymore.
Okay, so these come from Rebel silencers. I don't know if you've seen. Here, hold on. I got to show you this here. So
just real quick, if you go to the website, there is basically a his and hers. There is the covert clown and then the confetti clown, and they are both equally awesome. I didn't know either existed, but it's seriously like his and hers.
So website, and then
go to shop. There should be a button for shop. Like if you do at the top right, the hamburger menu, and then shop.
Okay, there we go. Shop.
And scroll down. Keep going.
Ooh,
right there.
Ooh.
Marley has to come see. Come here. You come around the corner.
These are cool. Yeah, I kind of like the what are these ones? LifeCard Covert Clown.
Yeah. So that's this one that I have, which is same idea as the Confetti Clown. It just has more of the, more of the earth tone colors. So sniper gray, an urban gray, Macmillan tan, FDE, Noveski, green. All of those different colors are on there.
Ah, yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
Marley's on board. She likes it.
Okay, boom. There you go.
Awesome. Thank you, Marley.
So here's what I was trying to show you here, which we did a video of this. It's out. I'll play it back here in a second. We did kind of like.
I did the same to mine, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, I did kind of get a baffle strike in there, but there you go. See that little tiny suppressor can right there? Yep, this is from Rebel silencers. So look at that. Go fast as possible. Come on. Boom. There you go.
That is super cool.
Gotta bring it back to your face.
Yeah, hold on. Block the face. Bring it back to the face.
There you go. Just bring it back. There you go. You're kind of in focus.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is cool. I'm going to see if I could pull up the video of this right now. Actually, I put something on Instagram, so I'll pull that up. Let's see, where is that? Instagram.
I was going to say, fold that up as well, if you can.
Fold it?
See how what the size is with the can on it.
Oh, okay, so here we go.
That can, that looks really cool. That can does go smaller, by the way.
This one? Oh,
yeah. You take that top baffle
You could cut it in half. Yeah, you could cut it in half.
Yeah. You could put it even smaller. It doesn't suppress very well at that size, but it does do.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if
this can that I have on
this
here.
big size.
This one's also modular, and it will actually go down real short and pretty compact. But again, the less baffles you have on it, the less quiet it'll be. Obviously.
Yeah. So this is on the Instagram, Hank Strange Instagram. So here you go. I don't know if you've seen this. Hopefully I tagged, we were talking about this. I'll figure out exactly what your handle is. But there you go. This is a video that I put up shooting this.
Oh, they do make them. So GSL is now making the
pillbox. Yes, sir.
Oh, I wanted one when Gemtech was making them, and then they would make them like once every couple of years, and I never could get my hands on one. But they are in stock, and I might have to get this combo right here. Because if you go to the website, GSL actually has the LifeCard with the pillbox as like a picture.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we also partner up with them for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we also know someone, that
at
we
GSL.
No, I mean we know Ron Dan of Trailblazer. Yeah.
And I'll say that
he's right here.
We have a great relationship with so many amazing suppressor manufacturers that are out there, and through that we have almost one of every major 22 can that's out there. And I say major 22 can because there are hundreds of 22 suppressors out there if you get into like the little local folks that are out there. But for all the major ones, we have pretty much all of them. Believe it or not, that GSL pillbox with a fresh wipe in it is the quietest that we have. I mean, it's silly how quiet that thing is. Yeah,
wipes are old tech, but they do their job. It's just you're going to be worn out in 25 shots, 15 shots.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a bunch of, all of a sudden I looked over here and there's a bunch of questions. Night Train says he has the LifeCard chambered in 22 WMR, right? 22 Magnum. He says, are they still manufacturing the LifeCard in what was once one of my favorite towns, Asheville, North Carolina?
So, Trailblazer Firearms, we are located in Fletcher, North Carolina, which is essentially a suburb of Asheville, North Carolina. We used to be based in Asheville proper, but the town of Asheville does not appreciate firearms being shot in their town. And so there's really only one range in all of Asheville called On Target. And but we're located just outside of Asheville. So that is true. We are still located there.
What Asheville has turned into is because anything west of Asheville, we have some property over in Franklin, which is not too far.
Right.
Anything west of Asheville is extremely gun friendly. You start moving east of Asheville, and they start not liking guns as much. And,
yeah, you're wrong. Yeah, you're spot on. I have I spent a lot of time in Chattanooga, and obviously, I mean, if you look in all those rural areas between Chattanooga, Knoxville, Asheville, all of that, I mean, it's fantastic for guns. Asheville proper, it's a little tough, but I will say, also, it's one of the most beautiful places in the country. So it's not the worst place to live, but it does have its challenges.
I think a lot of that's coming from people moving around the country, right? And people moving around because, they don't like where they live for lots of different reasons. They move to other places in the country that are awesome.
North Carolina is interesting in that East Coast, along the water, along the Atlantic, moving into Central is super, super liberal, as far as I know. And then the further west you go, backing up into Tennessee and northern Georgia is where, like, that's where we go, and it's not at all.
Right.
I mean, I can walk around open carry because it's legal to open carry, and in that part, Western North Carolina, nobody bats an eye. Nobody even looks at you.
Right.
Eastern North Carolina, people are gonna probably call the cops.
Yeah.
I live in Bozeman, Montana right now, and we have, I mean, there are even billboards that say "Don't California my Bozeman" or "Don't California my Montana," because all the Californians are moving out here.
Is that even possible to do to Montana? Come on now.
You would be shocked. You would absolutely be shocked.
Really?
I mean, I didn't think it would happen in Tennessee, and when I was living in Tennessee, and that state has turned fairly blue. But I'll tell you, it's one of those things where I find it very entertaining that these folks, like you said, Hank, they don't like where they're living, and so they want to move to a place that doesn't have the challenges they're facing, and then introduce those same challenges over time through their politics. So it is interesting.
Yes. Let me see if I can get to some other questions here. We got less than 2 minutes. Okay, Lola says, I'd like to know more about the development, how many versions it took to get it right. So development of the LifeCard. Yeah.
That's a phenomenal question. So, yeah, I mean, if you saw the original versions of these, the LifeCard, I really want to go into a lot more about the LifeCard and how it was developed. That's a great question. So it was designed so that it could actually fit inside of an Altoids tin. And if you remember, if you guys think back first when this gun first started being designed, about 10, 15 years ago, it was really popular to wear like a paracord bracelet, and you had an Altoids tin that had your whole survival kit in it. And that was the idea behind the LifeCard. The actual original LifeCard. I used to
rock those paracord bracelets.
Oh, yeah, same. The original LifeCard in the handle actually had a blade and a ferro rod so that you could actually,
Really?
It was a fire starter. It was a fire starter. It had a knife built into it.
Cool.
And so it was kind of everything you would need to survive. It was the LifeCard is the way that name came about. And we developed it at that original way, and actually look for it to, there are going to be future iterations of the LifeCard that will kind of go back to the roots of that. But I mean, if you saw the first shootable at our factory, one day we'll open up a little customer experience center where people can come and see the iterations of the guns. But the first actual shootable LifeCard, now we look back at it and we're like, man, that is the sketchiest thing. How did we ever prototype that? But that's what you got to do. And like we have wood versions of it. When it first started, and I mean, it started.
I want a wood version.
I mean, not a shootable wood version, but
just a prototype, not a working prototype.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. We're going to go to a hard break. We got 4 seconds. That's what that ding dong means. We'll be right back here. Hold on.
Walther Arms has been making concealed carry handguns for over 90 years, starting with the PPK. Today, Walther is based in the good old US of A and still builds quality firearms like the PPQ and PDP for personal defense and competition. So when you're in the market, please consider Walther Arms. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Walther Arms.
Yeah, you know what? I've thought about it long and hard. I definitely want a wood version. I want a wood version.
Some wood. You know what you should do is just get some wood veneer, like the stick-on wood veneer.
A sticker,
just put wood on it.
Yeah. I was thinking that when Ron was talking earlier, because when you put it in this LifeCard thing here like this, it would be like gray man camouflage or urban camouflage. To just put some stickers on that, right? It could look like a little cell phone in your pocket.
The way you have it right now kind of looks like a large vape or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it will fit inside of the change pocket of your jeans on most jeans, even on some women's jeans, that have a much smaller change pocket. It'll fit inside of that change pocket, and I won't go into what people use it for, but it is what we say. It's the last gun you'll ever leave. It's the last gun you'll ever leave behind. It's an extremely convenient gun to carry. So, is it? Walther is here at the bottom of the screen. I carry a Walther PDP. I love it. I carry it with no light on it, but I do carry it with a Holosun 509T on top, and it's a very great combat pistol. Do I want that in a gunfight opposed to a LifeCard? Absolutely. But would I take a LifeCard over just my fists? Like, also, I'd rather have that. So it's great for situations where maybe you can't carry your full-size combat gun or your full-size concealed carry pistol, and it's very, very convenient to carry. So that's one of the great things that we love about it.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if Patrick has anything he wants to ask there or add to that, but I think that's one of the things that I hear from people when I post stuff
You know, they're like, okay, that's really cool, seems interesting, but, you know, I can't, you know, they say, well, the way you're going to use that, right? Because you've got to literally take it out of your pocket, open it up. If you've got one in the chamber, right? You've got to, you know, basically, what is that? Like prime it, pull back your
just
your
charging
hammer.
the striker.
Yeah, cock it.
Yeah.
So you've got to do all of that. But, you know, I think this is good for situations that come up, like you're saying, where people are backed into a corner somewhere and they don't have, you know, their primary firearm to go to for whatever reason. It's better to have a 22 than to have nada. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need to do a video, because now that you said that the original iteration had a ferro rod in it, we need to do a video using that LifeCard to get a squirrel. And then, because I mean that if you think of it from that aspect, it would be perfect for taking some small game. If you can accurately shoot it, that's the hard part. Is you got to really. I mean,
hold on, let's see. What do we got here?
So if you take a Trijicon 1-inch RMR saddle mount and put it on your suppressor, it actually allows you. There's a YouTube channel or a Instagram channel out there called Puke Culture, and he has actually made shots out to, over 200 yards easily. And he's done shots at over 200 yards, like over his shoulder, you know, just using his cell phone camera and putting it out there. But yeah, I mean, the guns are extremely accurate. We have a lot of fun at the factory and have shots that.
The barrel's not threaded, right? Is it threaded or not threaded? It looks like it's not to me.
The barrel is, which one?
So on the suppressor, is this threaded?
The on what do you mean? That is threaded.
No, I'm sorry. What am I saying? Threaded. I'm sorry. I'm saying the wrong thing. Rifled. Excuse me.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
it is.
rifled,
So it's,
right.
it's actually quite faint rifling that you'll see, but it's very effective, and it is.
Oh, okay.
It is
I
rifled.
see it. Yeah.
And,
all right.
And so it is rifled, and we actually are going to be making some changes.
You know what I was thinking, Patrick?
I did not. I was going to say.
I was also confused. I was like, I don't know what you're asking. I was like, man, I was like,
there at the end.
But it does use a barrel liner. There is a barrel liner inside of there that and one advantage of the threaded barrel is that you actually add like a little over a half inch of now additional rifle length or barrel length to it with rifling. And so we're going to make some changes to where it'll actually stabilize a little bit heavier of bullets in 22 long rifles, so that if you get into like that Aguila super or the subsonic sniper round that they have, which I think is the 60 or 62 grain, so it'll stabilize that a little bit better, and you'll get even more accurate shots downrange than you have right now. But right now I use the CCI Quiet 22 load, and that's a winner in that gun.
Okay. When you were talking about it, I was thinking that, like, you're talking about the survival tin and everything. So this is kind of like the handgun version of a Henry survival rifle kind of thing, basically.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, like an AR-7 or one of those handy rifles. And I'll say that also, there was somebody that said that they have a 22 mag version of the gun. And just keep in mind that if you have a 22 mag version of the gun, all it takes is just one screw has to be removed. There's just one screw here that takes a 5/64 Allen key. That screw comes out. You can take off your 22 mag barrel and put on a 22 long rifle, threaded or non-threaded barrel. Put the screw back in, and that's it. So it's extremely easy to swap out calibers. You can't go from 22 long rifle up because we have to do head spacing at the factory for 22 mag. But if you have 22 mag, you can always go down to 22 long rifle.
So that's the one to get.
If you're buying one, buy the mag and get a separate barrel.
That's my suggestion. Yeah, because you can always get the 22 long rifle barrel afterwards. And
Yeah.
And when I carry it, this one that has the rounds in the handle is the actual one that I carry on a regular basis. And 22 mag, it's phenomenal, especially if you get into some of those new loads that they have. But in 22 long rifle, think about that new Federal Punch load. It's a fantastic round for 22 long rifle for self-defense, and there's a lot of people doing a lot more research into the effectiveness and how it works on FBI ballistic protocols. And 22 long rifle with the right load, with the right projectile, can actually be really effective.
Yeah. All right. So Go ahead, Patrick. I don't know if you've got.
No, I have a baby grumping.
Oh, is that your baby? Yeah, I didn't know if that was your baby or Ron. If Ron has a baby over there or not.
I do not have a baby and will not have a baby, so that's
yeah.
You will not hear that at my place.
That's Chromie V.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patrick had a baby a few months ago.
Nice.
So he didn't have a baby himself.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
His lovely wife had a baby.
Hey, it's 2023, man. You can anybody can
don't judge. Yeah. Well, we don't judge, not to anyone's face. We'll judge you. We'll judge you privately, and we hold the right to do lots of judgery. But
there you go.
There you go. All right. So
see if
cool.
he's happier.
Oh yeah, maybe he could hear you.
I think so. I might have to put him up a little bit. Marley went out to grab pizza.
Oh, okay. Gen Champ Jr. says LifeCard is an eye popper. Laugh out loud. Night Train said, from my experience, it's an up-close personal type of weapon, limited accuracy.
It can be.
The baby noise
it's
is
easier
not
to be
bothering
more.
me. Uh-huh.
It also does not bother me. But, it's obviously a lot easier to be accurate with it up front. But when we just do draw and shoot drills, you can put a round on a reduced size IPSC target at 25 yards pretty easily. Once you get used to the point and shoot kind of skills with it, it's pretty easy. And then also on the non-threaded version, there is a channel in the so there is a channel site that you can actually use to get pretty good accuracy with it. And then if you're using the suppressed version, I actually just look over the top of the tube, and that works pretty well to aim with. So
okay, yeah. That's I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions on this here before I go on here to something else. I don't know if Patrick has any, but
no questions at the moment.
We've got two.
I'll show you.
What's up? What are you up to? Oh, let's see. Let's take a look at the baby.
This is what's going on behind me.
Yeah.
He's just talking.
You've got Buckshot there. Yeah, he doesn't sound mad or anything. Oh yeah, he's up. He's moving around.
He's just talking. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, he wants to be part of the show.
He does.
And then I'll tell you.
I want to see
you guys
want to
go into it. Yeah, so this is our newest product, which is called the Pivot Rifle. And so whenever you guys are ready, we can do it.
You just messed up. You messed up my whole thing, Ron. Because I had a whole
I'm not going to mess it up. I'm not going to mess it up. Here.
I had a whole thing
like
I was going to do. I was going to do this thing where I showed you this, and I was like, some people came up with this technology. I don't know if you've ever seen this, Caltech a long time ago. No one else has really jumped into the fray, right, of the ultimate truck gun since Caltech. Obviously, you could just fold it like that. You flip your... I got to figure out how the hell do I flip my thing out of the way. There you go. So, we've got, I think, like Smith & Wesson jumped in there and just straight up copied it. But, I was thinking, man, it's time... it just feels wrong doing this now. I should have done this way before Ron actually...
No, I messed you up, man. That's my fault.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm having one of those days. But yeah, so you guys have, something, a little bit more upgraded technology that you were going to show us there. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, so a couple things. First off, Caltech's one of the first companies to not only do it, but do it on a large scale and do it for a major manufacturer. And we're friends with the Kellgrens. We're friends with Caltech, and we think they make a phenomenal gun, and especially for the money, they make one of the best options that are out there. Smith & Wesson has obviously come into the fold with the new Smith & Wesson FPC. And in the fold, I mean 16-inch backpack carbines, so 16-inch guns that you can either fold or disassemble and put into a backpack or into a standard backpack. And in that category, really, you have the Caltech Sub 2000, the Smith & Wesson FPC, and then Ruger has their PC Carbine Takedown, all of which are great guns, and they're fantastic. But they also, due to design limitations, all have some pros and cons to all of those designs, and they were all also designed for certain price points. What our founder, Aaron Voigt, the same guy that invented the LifeCard, what he came up with, the second that he saw that ATF was going to be messing with braces. So when he said, hey, when they first said you can't shoulder a pistol brace, you got to do that weird cheek weld hold with it, he said, all right, well, these are going to be going away at some point. So this is the first gun to go to market that was designed specifically around the ATF brace rulings that we knew were going to be coming. And I'll show you how it works. So basically, you have this rifle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be away from the mics to show it to you, but essentially
Sure.
I'll hit a button that's at the front of the lower, and then the upper will actually spin on the lower, and then it'll expose a full 16-inch fighting 9mm PCC. So this is our pivot rifle that fully, it has an HK style charging handle that you can go here, give it an HK slap, and it's really satisfying. But one of the things that a few things set this gun apart from everything else that's out there. One is the construction of it, right? I mean, if you look at the other guns that are in this category, they're all designed to hit a certain price point. So they use, not the best materials you would use to have like the highest quality or most durable gun that you would have. They're all great guns, but it's just they wanted to hit a certain price point, and they wanted to do it to where you could have a certain weight also. This gun still is extremely lightweight, but you have a full aluminum upper, a full aluminum lower, steel chassis, obviously steel barrel, and it allows you to have a great optics mounting platform, which is one thing, even Hank, on your sub 2000, you have to have a swing away mount or a mount that doesn't give you the most ideal zero retention. And
I feel like that's the one downside to the sub 2000 was trying to get an optic on it. He's telling us all about it. You hear him
he's fine. He's fine. But you know what? That brings the weight back up to what Ron was saying, right? I mean,
exactly.
Yeah. By the time you add this hardware to do it, and I'm not knocking Keltec. I think Keltec did a really good job with this. This is the Gen 2 version of it, and I think they definitely got better. And then from what I just realized like my front sight is moving around a little bit, but
we'll need to fix.
It's not ideal.
Yeah, it's not ideal. No, I just realized that. But and I've heard, because I think Walther had one of these come through his shop, and he said, not one of these, one of the Smith & Wesson ones, and he said that feels even better. This is where like this competition in the firearms space makes everything better for the end consumer, right? Because you get improvements on top of improvements, and that's what you guys are doing with the pivot.
Absolutely. And, I mean, there's so many things, not only do you see that there's improvement in that category, but one big thing we're going to be focusing on as a company in the coming months is showing the importance of why do I need a carbine along with me in a backpack or in my vehicle or in the saddlebag of my motorcycle, whatever it is. And there's a lot of applications for both law enforcement and the responsible armed citizen. So, if you see a lot of instances where, you might have to take shots that are out past 25, 50, 75 yards. And this gives you a platform that you can still feed it with the magazines that you're carrying on you for your carry gun. But it allows you to make very capable shots out past 100 yards and out to 150 yards very easily with this platform. So we're really excited about it. We're going to be working with some of the top instructors in the industry to just the same way we did at Vertex, where we showed the need and what you can be capable of carrying a full kit in your backpack. We're going to show what you can do with a full 16-inch gun, not having to have a gun with a brace on it, which now looks like it's going to be pretty heavily regulated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Daddy Daycare, you can put your thing on and lift Chromie V up. He wants to be part of the conversation.
He does. I'm gonna have to bounce him on my knee. Let me grab him.
Yeah. Don't be ashamed. There's nothing wrong. I had to do that.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I had to do that with my kids. Or, he wants to be part of the conversation. Yeah, there we go. There's Chromie V. So, I think that I think this. Why do people look for like the perfect? It's called a truck gun, I guess, right?
Right.
A folding carbine, whatever, because you want to have something with you if you're traveling a long distance. You want that get home gun, all those kinds of things. You want it to stay legal, right? So 16 inches, and like whatever states you go through. Pistol caliber. I see, who is it? Armament and Access says He's still looking for a 10mm version here. There's been this kind of like quest for the holy grail with that. Am I wrong? Or what do you guys think about that?
No, you're spot on, and especially with especially now that if you're looking at brace guns being SBRs or any NFA items, not any NFA items, specifically in SBRs, if like let's say when I was living in Chattanooga, Tennessee, I could take a wrong turn and I would be in Georgia or I would be in Alabama, and technically you're in violation there. I mean, if you're going across state lines with that and without notifying the ATF with a form 5320.20, that is that you can get yourself in a bad way. So one thing I really like about 16-inch guns is it allows me to be very comfortable. So even in my vehicle where I keep, long guns in the trunk, I always stick with 16-inch or longer rifles that are back there, so that I don't have to worry about compliance. Or if I'm going from, here in Bozeman, Montana, if I end up in Wyoming, just from, taking a small road trip, that I don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, go for it, Patrick.
No, I'm sorry, I startled you because I was too quiet for too long. No, I agree that there's a lot of people that try to go for that, and 9mm is a good. If I were really having to use something, I would prefer 5.56, but 9mm is a really good all around caliber. It just does so much so well. So you can suppress it well. You can feed a big old stick mag, which I don't have one sitting in front of me, but you can feed a big old stick mag into it, like. It's good for that sort of situation scenario, trunk gun, backpack gun.
Yeah. What's the mag? What I'm guessing you guys are using Glock mags with this.
So it's fed with Glock mags. It ships with a Glock factory 15-round mag, so a Glock brand 15-round mag. There's lots of great manufacturers out there, U.S. manufacturers. Two of the most popular ones are ETS Mags and Magpul, obviously. Those are fantastic. This gun is designed to where even with that stock collapsed, in here in this gap, you can fit a 27-round PMag in there, even with the stock collapse. So when it's in its most when it's in its most compact configuration, you can still stow a 27-round PMag in there. But we ship it with a Glock factory mag, just given the price point of the gun and given that, nobody will argue that the most high quality mags that are out there, period, for Glocks are Glock factory mags. So
100%.
And
I would say go with Glock's mags. Then, then of course, I think that Magpul does some really good stuff, and then you got all the other companies. Yeah, Glock mags.
We've had good luck with those in the history of Hank's channel. I know some people have bad luck, but every time.
Well, you don't always get drop free. You don't always necessarily get drop free. You do sometimes.
But I can unload 32 rounds pretty much every time using those $11 clock mags from Korea. So.
Yeah. When we were at when I was at a former company that I mentioned earlier in the podcast, which helps narrow it down, but I'm not going to say the exact one. We use those Korean mags, and really a big thing for us
we wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like High Point Firearms and Full Forge Gear, bags and gear for everyday life. Did you know High Point is an American family-owned and operated company located in Ohio with over 30 years of manufacturing experience? High Point is proud to be the home of the working man's gun and your source for affordable handguns and carbines with a lifetime warranty. So when you're in the market, please consider High Point.
All right, my apologies for that, Ron. Man. I should have let you know. That ding-dong, that's what it is, that ding-dong.
Hey, no, that's all right. Man, let me say, High Point rolling through with a 10 mil that is actually, like you got to think, out here in Montana, it's one of those things where a lot of people got to carry a 10 mil on them. If you're out hiking, you either got to carry 40 mag or whatever.
Do you guys have moose over there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And man, I'll tell you, for High Point,
I can't mute. I'm trying to mute.
You call it the working man's gun, and to be able to responsibly and arm somebody to be able to protect their family out here, if they're hiking or whatever with a High Point's new 10 millimeter, it's pretty awesome. But what we were talking about with those mags, so those Korean mags actually did a really great job. But we try to keep everything at Trailblazer. Having everything here in the U.S. is a big thing for us. So that's that's a big deal for us.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you just need to be prepared for whatever your magazine's gonna do. I would rather have lots of different magazines than a few.
Mommy, save your mommy for the win.
Yeah.
She came and took them.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think he was hungry.
Yeah, he might be. It's hard to know.
Yeah, and you obviously don't have the right equipment.
Nope. Not
Yeah.
for that.
Right.
And Patrick, I'll say, you were talking about 9mm versus 223 and all of that. And, when you look at the new modern projectiles for 9mm, it's awesome. And I love, personally, for this gun, Winchester makes a 127 plus P plus Ranger T series. And if you put that in this gun, you get,
That's a spicy
357
meatball.
ballistics. Yeah, it is. And we definitely tested this gun. One of the other things about this gun being ridiculously overbuilt is we test it for every factory load that's out there, including that Winchester 127 plus B plus. So you can shoot it with confidence, knowing you don't have to worry about that gun falling apart or rattling apart over time. So that's a huge advantage for it. And you really do get, it's close to 357 ballistics that you're getting out of it when you're shooting it out of that gun.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just in the chat, by the way, and I'll check the Discord. I don't know if anyone's throwing anything up on the Discord, but I'll check that and show you guys the Discord here. Let me see what's going on with the Discord. If anyone's been throwing anything in there, but I see that Gen Champ Jr. says CMMG Banshee has a cool 10mm, and Gen Champ Jr. says High Point does also. LOL. So listen, however you get to your 10mm awesomeness, I'm not gonna hold it against you. You do what you got to do out there. There is a difference between the CMMG and the High Point, but they're all very cool. And with with the High Point carbine, there's definitely kits. So that's one thing I could say, man. You can get yourself a nice bullpup kit.
Oh man! Real quick before we move on, go back to the Discord and go to the Gorn section.
Oh boy, hold on.
I'm gonna have to get one of these for my car.
Hold on. So go to
Gorn.
the Gorn.
Yep, go to Gorn. Scroll all the way down.
All the way.
Oh yes, it's a Hoppy's air
no!
freshener.
Someone didn't actually make an air freshener for this.
Yeah,
oh no! I
Hoppy's
think
number 9
Hoppy's
air
makes
freshener.
it.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
it smells great.
Oh Lord!
It does.
Okay.
Hank doesn't believe us. But
Man, Hoppy's number 9 it's fantastic. I love that stuff.
It's scary.
Yeah,
I always think to
Nope,
myself,
I love
if
it.
I smell this too long, I'm gonna wake up like a week from now.
No. It's good for you, man. You can
Right,
sprinkle
okay.
it on your salad.
Hoppy's number 9. Great. For the
Right. Sure. I
Don't
don't know if
actually
this.
sprinkle it on your salad for anybody.
No,
listening.
don't do that. Yeah, don't do it. It's not, not necessarily. This is not au natural like some other cleaners that are out there. There's some other natural cleaners that are out there that have they've got a scent, but not really that bad. So
Simple Green. You can drink Simple Green. Don't try that at home, but I'm pretty sure you could.
yeah, I'm sure you've tried to taste the hoppies, Patrick. I'm sure.
No. I will tell you, if you want to poison yourself with something sweet, this stuff right here, this will poison you real quick, probably.
What is that?
Is that Loctite?
Yeah, red
Loctite, and
Yeah,
I don't know what they use in it, but it's sweet. If you ever get it on your finger and you lick your finger afterwards, it's probably
would you do
slowly
that?
poisoning me.
Right.
Well, I didn't realize it's like getting mustard on your finger, where you don't see it anymore, but the second you go to put your finger in your mouth, like if you're chewing your fingernail or something, you'll taste it. Yeah, it'll probably poison me fairly soon, but
Yeah.
I don't know what to use, but it's sweet.
Right.
I'm drinking
advise
it
you.
behind the scenes, yes.
Stop doing that.
Yeah, he's one of those people. He's one of those special people out there. Listen, there's a whole bunch of things that we have to talk about. So I don't know, people might have questions there. Let me know. I'll get to the questions. I did want to publicly apologize. We were supposed to have you on last week Monday for
You should tell him
FreeForAll
your
Monday.
story.
I was telling him a little bit. I was telling Ron a little bit. So basically, we had you were talking about Jacob Herman earlier, right? So one of the people that knows Jacob Herman is Richard Monder from England. He knows him well, or Jacob Herman would know him well. But he was over here visiting us. I took him out to Safety Harbor to visit with Walter, and then we were gonna try to come back here. I drove my Audi e-tron GT which is an electric car, so everyone can get their things preloaded. This is all on me. I blame myself here because I didn't have the range to get to a charger, and there's things I could have done. I could have waited. I had it plugged in at Walter's place. I could have waited a little bit longer. I had some options.
Bit.
Yeah. So I thought to myself, oh no, I could go where I'm going. This thing's gonna go past 0. There should be no problem with that. And yeah, so there was a problem with that. And I did actually run out of juice. And I'm trying to see here. I'm trying to see if I could pull up some video of me driving on 0. Here we go. Here's one right here. Yeah, that's me driving on the highway on 0 miles. 0 miles right there. So, yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I'll make it to the charger. So I literally got like, I'm going to say I got about 1,000, maybe 1,500 yards from the charger. Here in this video, you could see Richard Monder and another dude outside the car trying to push it. That's what those people are there in the backup camera. They're trying to push it because I broke down in the mall, inside the parking lot of the mall where the charger was.
Right next to the charger.
Yeah. So
you could see them from the car, right?
Yes. Well, no, I couldn't see it, but it really wasn't that far away. So I literally had to get a tow truck to come tow me. And by the way, I drove it up onto the tow truck, which you guys will see here. I need to put this up on YouTube so people can laugh at my shame. But I literally drove it up onto the tow truck. But it cut off. At a certain point, it was like, no, we're not letting you go any further. But then by the time the tow truck got there, it did let me drive up onto the tow truck. And I'll show you.
The cameras on it saw its own salvation just ahead and said, no, you can go. Just that little bit more. We can make that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it also let me drive off of the tow truck. So this is the tow truck about 1,500 yards in that same mall, towing me over to drop me off at a charger that you could see the charger here on the side. That's what that glowing green thing is. You'll see if I fast forward that I'm backing up to. So yeah, that happened. So Ron, I apologize for that. I really was looking forward to having you on the show last Monday.
Not a worry at all.
I did it for the YouTubes. Hopefully I get a cajillion views when I post this video.
I understand.
Yeah, I know it won't happen. It won't happen.
You got to put a like a catchy title for it, like Audi e-tron gets, yeah,
yeah, abandoned
split personality as to whether or not it wants to keep running. Yeah,
but it was me. You could see in this thing. I was like, oh, we got 30 miles. Where we're going is 40 miles. I'm pretty sure we can make it.
Why did you do that? It tells you right there.
I was there. I was there, Patrick. You know what? Here's what I have to say. I think that the range, and Ron and I were discussing this, the range of the Audi e-tron, let's say, compared to like a Tesla, is not as good. They just doesn't have as much range. Because Lola's Tesla has a 300-mile range if it's fully charged. This, if it's fully charged, has like, 250, maybe 260, if you're lucky, fully charged. And the regenerative braking is not as good as on a Tesla. That Tesla has excellent regenerative braking. This brakes, so in other words, it's got like one pedal driving. So when you come off the gas, it starts braking on its own and it's recharging the batteries. So, did Ron freeze? I don't know. Did he freeze?
No, I did not freeze. What I am looking for is that article that I was telling you about where it actually had the real, what was published as the range versus what people actually ended up finding the range to be. I can't find it right now. I don't want to be looking for it while I'm on this. But, yeah, I mean, I think the Audi e-tron published a range of, I want to say it was like 250 miles, and what they actually ended up finding out is that the real mileage on it was like 267, but that's all based on conditions. Like if you were to come out here when it's really cold in Bozeman, you're not going to get even close to 250 miles, whereas like there in Florida, you're going to get closer to that.
Yeah.
Or beyond it.
I think it's a bunch of different factors. How you're driving, all of that. There is an efficiency mode, which I put it on once I got into that zone, but it's kind of like, at that point, efficiency is moot. It shuts off your AC and stuff like that. But, it was really me. I could have done better than that because I actually found a place. We went to this Publix that had free charging if you're shopping in the Publix. So we went, we shopped.
On a regular 110.
Yeah, it was giving like something, it was a little bit more. It might be, I would say it's maybe like a level 2 because it was giving like 14 miles an hour. But I got impatient.
You could only get 14 miles an hour on that. Oh my God, that would take forever.
Yeah, if I would have waited like 20 minutes, I would have made it to that freaking charger. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I got really, 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 really close to the charger, And I did this before, by the way, in a Tesla. So what I would say is, okay, every car, even like a internal combustion engine car, right, an ICE car, if the gas light comes on, right, and it tells you that you're low on gas, you need to get gas. Typically, you got somewhere like, 30, 50 miles, I guess, with that light?
Yeah, about 50 miles.
Yeah. So I wanted to see, and I've done it with a Tesla, to see when it goes to 0, how many miles you could go. I think a Tesla has something like maybe 15, 20 miles. But I found out the hard way that an Audi e-tron GT has 9 miles. Yeah, 9. When it says 0, you're 9 miles away from... It won't let you go. It has more than that, but it literally, the programming or whatever just shuts you down and goes, no, you're not going anywhere.
There's something you launched out there, talking about being in Publix, and I'll tell you, count your blessings that you guys live in a place that has Publix, because I miss Publix so much, and people don't believe that pub subs really are a way of life, and that they are so much better than every other sub that's out there. But Publix subs are the best on the planet, and oh man, I miss Publix.
My wife's
the wings.
My wife's sister moved out to Colorado a couple years back, like 2 or 3 years ago, and that's one of the main things. She's like, we just don't have shopping out here like that. Like,
no,
we don't have grocery stores like that.
No. I love their wings, man. I was having some of those wings. Publix has wings.
They're good.
Yeah, they're awesome. Lola gets wings from there and then throws it in her air fryer and good to go. So Publix has a lot of good stuff. It's not. Let's see. How do you explain Publix to people who aren't in a Publix?
It's a grocery store, but it's awesome. It's just a good grocery store. The only thing better than Publix, this is going to be controversial,
Whole Foods?
is no, God, no.
The Whole Foods is expensive. That's a little more high.
Ingalls in North Carolina.
Ooh, Get out of here with that, man.
Have you been to the Western Carolina Ingalls? They have
absolutely
Starbucks inside.
We're based in Western North Carolina. I mean, yeah, I've been to Ingalls a lot, but it's not even close, man. Like, I mean, I know you're drinking Arizona Arnold Palmer right now, and you go to Publix, and like,
go ahead, you can show it again.
You get a little Publix sweet tea with the Publix lemonade. Like, that's the best Arnold Palmer you'll ever have in your whole life. It is so good. Publix is the best.
Miss Publix a lot.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I've been living out west for a while now, and there's no Publix out here.
Well, how did you wind up out in Montana? What is the story there? How'd you wind up there?
So I moved here because Jacob Herman recruited me to come work for a company that he had helped found, and so I moved here for a job.
We could blame it on Herman.
Blame it on Herman. But no, I actually originally moved out west. I moved to a town called Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and I moved there from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I moved there for a girl, which is how a lot of
look at
young men end up being nomadic across this country.
Are you married currently?
I am not. I am not married.
That clearly did not work out.
That didn't work out for you.
Who knows if I'll ever get married, man? Like
no, come on! Don't give up, man! Don't give up! Come on.
Well, no, it's not me giving up. It's I think it's a lot of it's a choice for me. But I don't know if marriage is a thing for me or not. But yeah,
you found the right girl. I was in the same boat. You found the right girl, and now we've been together 7 years, and we have a 3-month-old. So
yeah,
nice.
My
changes
you
real
guys:
fast.
stop looking; they will come to you. Now in Montana, I don't know. There can't be that many.
Oh no! Find you a good Montana gal out. Oh yeah.
They're fantastic. Yeah.
How's the ladies in Montana? They're nice.
They're polite. They're beautiful. Everything's fantastic.
There you go.
And a thing I've been getting into recently is country swing dancing. And,
Okay.
So it's actually so that's actually a fantastic way. If you want to go out and meet girls, that's a surefire way to go out and meet girls.
Any of those single ladies out there in Montana looking for
half of percent that watches this channel that are out there in Montana.
Yeah. Or anywhere in the world for that matter. I don't know, Ron might be open to some other places. Listen, we have some very sexy ladies listening to us in Italy, Australia, all over the world listening to us here. If you're looking
Have you met these sexy ladies?
No, but if you're looking for a sexy Indian, gun dude, we got you covered. Rondan is available.
Hank Strange dating show. That's what's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
And as I've told people before, which no one believes me. So Ron and I had this conversation the last time we actually saw each other, because I didn't realize that he was from Guyana, right? And I was like, oh, this guy looks like he might be Indian or something like that. But I was talking to him one day, and I was like, dude, where are you from? So he's like, I'm from Guyana. I was like, oh, I'm from Guyana. Then he goes, where were you born? I was like, I was born in Georgetown. He goes, I was born in Georgetown. It's like
same hospital.
Yeah.
Well, because there's only one hospital in Georgetown.
Yeah, there's only one freaking hospital. Yeah. So the whole, other than that, you're born at home.
Right.
So, everything, like, I was like, what? And I told him, listen, man, let me explain something to you. I am the biggest Guyanese dude in the gun world. I am number one of all the Guyanese people in the gun world. And you're number two now. You're number two.
All right, hey, I'll take that. And there's a lot of dudes actually, like, from the Caribbean. Guyana is considered a Caribbean country, and there's a lot of there's starting to be more and more. Hank, I forget how long you've been doing this. You've been doing this for a long time, though. But
over
when
10
I first
years.
started, I mean, when I first started about 16 years ago, there was very, very, very little diversity in this industry, and and so it was kind of rare. So when you and I first met, when Jacob first introduced us, he thought it was just because we were both dark-skinned dudes, and it took us. I mean, I met you in 2015, and it was only until a few years ago that you and I.
Now,
was I think it was in the midst of COVID.
Oh, in 2015, that's where we met. So where did Jacob introduce us? Where were we?
At SHOT Show at the Century booth. It was either 2015 or SHOT Show 2016. So I think it would have been beginning of 2016 that you and I would have met.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. You can't forget. You can't forget Jacob whatsoever.
I know
he is like the prototype. He is the prototypical, like, young dude in the gun world. Just think about all the movies that you've seen, like guns, cocaine, hookers, and Jacob Herman.
You just blew up his spot. Yeah, that's.
I'm sorry. Am I lying?
Not,
just think about whatever you saw in the movie. I don't know. He listen. He might have found Jesus since then. It's possible.
Don't forget, there's the chime, right? Like that.
You're
trying
to right?
Oh, you're trying to.
Listen, I've in the middle of talking about Korean mags again, and
I've heard some stories from Jacob's own mouth.
Oh yeah,
about SHOT Show. He's a wild man.
He is a wild man, and I every now and then Jacob will get on this little thing where he's starting to calm down, and I think right now he's in the phase where he wants to lose 40 pounds before he turns 40, and so he's been using a lot of. Yeah, I mean, he's a big guy, though, so 40 pounds, it won't be too hard for him to lose, and then he's been doing a lot of kettlebell training, so he's trying to get his health in order, which I think means he has to calm down on the party and all that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I think, by the way, Briley Utreon staff says hi, so there you go.
Hey, we got Utreon watching.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what that is.
With Armslist, you can shop the extensive list of local and nationwide firearms classified, now with more confidence because of their built-in firewall. For only $6.99 a month for personal use, or $30 a month for business vendors, so when you're in the market, please consider Armslist. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Armslist.
About it.
Let me tell you how nervous I am. She's going back to work next Wednesday.
You'll be fine.
I know. I'm gonna have a baby by myself for 12 hours.
Have you ever seen the movie Daddy Daycare? You'll be fine.
Yeah, it'd be great if I
doesn't
didn't have
end
a
well,
full-time job at the same time.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
I changed a diaper for the first time recently.
Oh, you did?
Did you really?
Was this an adult diaper or a baby diaper?
Oh,
No, it was a baby diaper, and so one of my good friends in the industry, he's a mutual friend of Jacob and I, but he his son, I was like, well, I'll be babysitting this kid at some point, so I might as well learn how to change this diaper, and so I did it. And
was it difficult? Come on now.
The first time you do it, it's like really awkward. You're like, I don't know you, you don't know me. This is weird, but you get used to it pretty quickly.
Yeah, that baby doesn't care. That baby wants that stuff off its backside.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, and it's like
our baby doesn't like being naked though. That's part of the problem. Is if you leave him unclothed for too long, he starts grumping. It's like, I'm getting the other diaper. Calm down. I will have it shortly. Okay, relax. Oh
yeah, and I'll tell you, like, it's crazy how much those little bodies can produce in terms of waste.
Oh yeah,
it's like
how old is the one that we're talking here? How old's the kid?
Like 6 months.
Okay, so he's still on the milk diet. So he hadn't. Well, at 6 months they start converting over to real food, and I hear that's when stuff starts getting real stinky. Because milk poops, they're okay. There's nothing too bad.
Yeah, but they're printing fast, man. Just imagine a printer, consuming. Printing, consuming, printing, proofing.
He prints a couple times a day.
Yeah, it's no joke.
Yeah. So just quickly getting back to the thing of being Guyanese and everything. You have a Guyanese mom. I know, unfortunately, you said your dad passed when you were in college, right? So like my Guyanese mom, when my boys were born, came over and like taught Lola a whole bunch of stuff and myself about like dealing with baby. I've been dealing with babies since I was little. Like my sister was born in England, and I'm the one who used to change her. Back then the Pampers were cloth. Remember those?
Right.
So
absolutely.
You literally had to scrape that poop off, and then you had to wash that poop out.
You're technically supposed to still do that. Nobody does, but if you read the instructions, you're supposed to take it and get the solids out in the toilet, even the disposables, before you throw them away. Yeah. Nobody does that. I don't know anybody that does that.
No, that's good for the local dump site, man. That helps.
it feeds the critters over there.
Yeah. So, but my mom actually, I remember that because Lola always. That's one of the things. My mom's not here anymore, and that's one of the things that Lola loved about my mom. The two of them got along really well, better than me and my mom. And my mom came along and like showed her all this stuff, like typical. My mom's Indian, and did all this, like came along and showed her daughter-in-law how to do all these things, including taking care of babies and how you stretch them. I don't know if you know this, Patrick. You gotta stretch the baby.
You
gotta stretch the baby out. You gotta oil the baby down.
And then you push him in to get his farts out.
Yeah, you gotta shape his head. Do you know about the shaping of the head?
Oh my God! Marley came home a couple weeks ago from physical therapy, and they're like, "Oh, his head's a little misshapen. He's been sleeping on this other side too much." And I was like, "She's like, we gotta watch out. Can't let him sleep in the thing too long. You gotta turn his head over here. He's gotta look."
And like, he's got your bullet head. That baby has your bullet head, by the way.
I was like, Marley, how many adults do you see out there that have really ridiculous looking heads? Not that many. He's not gonna have he's gonna be fine. Don't stress about it.
Yeah.
No, they're all the stuff that you learn. She's been happy with my mom because her mom's gone. Yeah. But my mom's been helping out with all the baby stuff, showing her motherly
This is where
things.
moms come in. Walter says, "Leave the head alone."
Leave the head alone.
Walter, just think about you probably don't know, Ron. I'll see if I can find a picture of Walter. Walter has a cranium of a frickin' Viking giant.
Hey, I'll tell you, I don't know what goes into the shaping of heads, but if my mom shaped my head, if my Guyanese mom shaped my head, she did a pretty good job because it's not too bad, I don't mind having this thing shaved off, but I'll tell you, one of the coolest things that I've been able to see over the past few years is both of my older sisters have since had kids in the past few years, and watching my mom go back into mom mode and be a grandma. She's the most incredible grandma I've ever seen in my entire life. She's one of the most incredible women in the whole world, but it's cool to see her back into that mode,
That's what's wild to me is my mom's been she's been out of kid mode I'm 34.
They don't ever lose the skills, no.
But she's right back into it, and she's no complaints at all. She was a stay-at-home mom but no complaints changing diapers, picking them up, helping Marley, like none.
Yeah. Walter
And
said
even me, I'm
Bristol
like,
Skullhead.
you go get him.
That's
I
what
don't want
Walt
to go
said.
get him right now. You go get him.
Yeah.
My mom's like, no, she's happy.
Yeah.
And I love that, some of these, like my sister, my middle sister, she's the one that's into all these new like baby raising techniques, and she's like, oh, well, I read on the internet this or that or whatever, and then my mom will just go into old school whatever she did to raise us, and it'll work 10 times better than anything my sister will read.
That's the funniest. The funniest thing is if you read through the internet, no matter what you do, you're doing it wrong with a baby, because there's always somebody who'll tell you, no, it works better this way. But the internet will tell you that no matter what you're doing, you're going to suffocate your baby. And Marley didn't realize, because now they tell you, you must only sleep your baby on their back. That's the only thing you can do. Otherwise, they're going to die. You got to be careful. They're going to die.
Yeah, sudden SIDS.
SIDS, which they've now figured out has nothing to do with how they sleep. It's a brain disorder. But Marley didn't know. We talked to her dad when he was in town, and all of us from the 2000s and back, 90s, 80s, they told you to sleep your kids on their stomachs. And now they're like, oh, God, no, never do that. That'll kill your kid. It's like, how many of us survived without, sleeping on our back?
We shouldn't listen to shit that these people say, first of all.
Let's
start there. Remember, the experts were talking. I was looking at something, Tucker Carlson had a thing. I think I sent it to you, Patrick. He had a thing about this where, like, back in the 60s and 70s, the experts were talking about global cooling. They're like, global cooling is going to destroy the world. It's coming for us. Then they switched over in, like, the 80s to global warming, and then more recently they've switched to climate change.
It's Man Bear Pig. That's what's happening. Man Bear Pig's coming for us all.
Yeah, these people.
You know that reference.
Yeah, trust me, I know. South Park.
Ah, you do know. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that don't trust the experts. I don't think they know what they're talking about. Guyanese moms have been doing well for a long time. I know. So, for example, my mom. One of the things that my mom taught Lola is how to make a curry. Very important to Indian people.
Can we talk about how I've still not had another bite of curry?
Yeah, Patrick. I made the mistake of letting him have curry over here. Now we can't get rid of it.
I'm a curry fiend. I love a good curry.
Oh my god!
And it's hard here in Gainesville. It's pretty difficult to find a really good curry. Lola made one, and it's probably up there with the top 2-3 curries I've ever had. She's only ever made it once, and she has never. I was like, you got to teach me how to make that. It's really good. And she's never done it. She's never taken the opportunity.
I have to try Lola's, but I'll say my mom's. I've tried them all over, from all different types of Guyanese shops and restaurants all over the country. And man, I'll tell you, my mom's I think is the best. But I'm also biased to it. That's the first one I ever tasted.
I don't know what y'all Guyanese folks put in the curry, but oh my god, it's so good.
Well, first of all, I think out of the Caribbean nations, Guyana probably does the best cooking. If you're talking about yeah, in the world, most people have seen Jamaican. That's all right. Jamaican food's all right. Trinidadian food probably comes the closest to where in the realm of where Guyanese food would be. But Guyanese food is right on top, man. The only thing I've seen better, and this is my honest opinion, than Guyanese cooking, and yes, I'm Guyanese and all that, and raised on it. But the only thing I've seen that even comes close is the Ital Jamaican food. That's the the vegetarian Rastafarians. If you ever get a chance to eat at a what they call Ital restaurant, Rastafarian vegetarian curry and all that kind of, you won't even I don't like vegetarian food, but when they do it, it's awesome. Yeah. Go ahead.
And they do those patties that are really good. They do the vegetarian patties, not obviously Jamaican beef patties are the best,
those are
right?
awesome.
I mean, that's awesome. But they'll do at the Ital restaurants, they'll do vegetarian patties that are just fantastic, man. I mean, all the spices and everything they put into it, it's you don't even care whether or not there's meat in it. It's so flavorful.
Yeah, when it comes to Caribbean cuisine, anyone out there, if you live someplace, and there's not a lot of places, so if you're in New York, there's a couple of places that you can get Guyanese cooking. Kaichor is one of the ones in New York. It's in Queens. I don't know if you ever heard of that, Ron.
It's named after Kaichor Falls, right?
Yeah, Guyana has the most waterfalls. I think Guyana is called the land of 1,000 waterfalls or something. to that effect. A lot of waterfalls in Guyana. So there's a place called Kaichor in New York that's awesome, and then there's a couple of places in Orlando, Florida that are Guyanese like style cooking. If you get a chance, check it out. You'll see. And I think Guyana is good for food because of the mix. So like Guyana has about 49% African, 49% Indian, like 2% Chinese. The cultural background of the people there, and I think that makes for a really good mix in food. That's my opinion.
Yeah, my mom's actually half Amerindian, which is like the native, folks to Guyana. She's half Amerindian and half Scottish. Her maiden name's Russell, so it's actually a pretty interesting mix.
What? That's wild.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right?
Russell.
Oh, so your mom was like my mom was a Majamutu. By the way, we're probably related, me and you, Ron.
Yeah, I mean, actually, when you really start digging into it, you don't have to go too far back in Guyana to really figure out like where the relation is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something you do. Like for Patrick, for Guyanese people, they have like these big house parties. Like that's a big thing, and you have everybody, and like every cousin is over there, and everybody that you call a cousin, which is literally anybody you've ever known.
If you see any hot chicks in those parties, don't do it. My mother used to like smack. Walk away. Yeah. I think you slow down there a little bit. I don't know. We're still here. Yeah, I used to get knocked upside the head by my mother.
Froze for a second. We're back.
Yeah, every time I went to one of those house parties you're talking about, Ron, my mother would get mad at me because there was always some cute chick over there that's related to me.
Right.
Oh, God, that's so
you got to be careful with that stuff. I know. It's kind of like going to a house party in Lower Alabama or something like that. So.
Yeah, Alabama house party.
Remember, I'm like a guy who grew up outside of Guyana. So I left Guyana at 5 years old. And we went to live in England, and then we went to live in Nigeria and all that. So coming back to America, I was like, wow, what's going on here? So I used to get in trouble with my mother all the time. I was a little overactive. So I'm sorry, I cut you off, Ron. Go for it.
No, I forgot what I was going to say, but no, but that's all, but that's one thing you got to be careful for. And I'm sure if we were to really start going back to it, we'd figure out that we have a relation somewhere.
Probably.
But my mom's from, I want to say Essequibo or something like that, but I got to figure it out. I'll tell you exactly where she's from.
Yeah. I'm sure, there's no way we're not related. I can't do what the old Guyanese people do. Like if my mom was here, or even my dad or someone of the older people in the family, and then one of the older people in your family was there, they would sit down about 30 minutes. They would figure out the whole family tree lineage of how we're somehow related.
And especially, I'd love to look into where you were in Georgetown and where we were in Georgetown. And I bet, Georgetown's not a very big place, so I'm sure we can figure out how far away from each other we grew up.
Yeah. And I don't know, how old are you?
I'm 35.
35. Okay, well, I'm 50. I'm 51. So we're in a kind of different age category. But my mom was a teacher in Guyana. Both my parents are very popular. So there's a lot of people that I've run into that my mom taught them, and they always tell me, oh yeah, your mom used to beat the living daylights out of me when we were in school. And I would go, oh, okay, so I'm not the only person.
Man, actually, Guyana's the reason that I got into cars the way I am. My uncle was one of the best rotary mechanics, for Mazda, and there's a few companies that made rotary engines, but Mazda was really well known for them, and obviously their RX-7 is the one that's very popular here. But he was one of the best rotary mechanics that was ever around in Guyana, and then came over here and started doing that in the States, and his shop in South Florida was right down the road from the Steeda factory, and that's how I got into Fox body Mustangs and all that kind of stuff. But it all kind of started from the Guyanese car culture. That was a big thing.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of cars are you into? We should talk about that a little bit.
I'm into all types of vehicles. I'm really into as everybody is nowadays, I love overlanding, and so I was originally big on Toyotas. So 4Runners, we had a 4Runner in our family for a long time, and then I had a Japanese imported 70 series Land Cruiser that I've since sold to Kevin Brittingham, who's the owner of Q.
Yep,
And
we've had him on
he
the
still
show.
has that. yeah, he still has that and has it up at his place. He actually, I don't want to say he forced me into selling it to him, but he came to visit us. He came to visit us in Jackson Hole, and he said, "Oh man," he's like, "I'm going to buy this from you. How much?" And I was like, "Well, Kevin, it's not for sale." And he goes, "I don't think you heard what I said." He's like, "How much? I'm going to give you a certain amount of money, and then you're going to give me the title of this vehicle." And so,
oh boy.
So I was really big into
I think
Toyotas
we've met Kevin here, so yeah, we know pretty much how that went. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was really big into Toyotas and Land Cruisers for a long time, and then from that, after I sold that, I got into like old Broncos, which was right before Ford launched their Broncos, and so I was able to make some money on those. Then I got really big into Land Rovers because for some reason I don't like reliable vehicles and like to give a lot of money to a mechanic. So I'm still into that. Still have a couple Land Rovers, and then also I'm into. Yeah, and that, so I love that. And then now I'm also into like I love Euro wagons. So I have a German wagon that but I like German wagons that go very fast. So if you can get 200 miles an hour or close to it, that's my style. So
Mercedes wagon, or
I have a Porsche Panamera Turbo, which is their version of it. But
nice.
But I would love a Mercedes wagon at some point. That would be great. All of them are beautiful to me. So.
Yeah. No, those are cool.
But same family of vehicles, you know, the Porsche family is in the same family of vehicles as Audi, and I know that's something you and I bonded on, kind of when we first started getting to know each other in a big way.
Yeah, I would love to get a RS6 Avant one of these days. Every now and then, my Audi dealership. Yeah, every now and then they'll have one that's not already, because you know when they come into the country they're already sold, but they'll come to me. They'll be like, "Oh, by the way, this thing came in over here, and we got no owner for it. What's up?" You know, but it all depends on if Lola's in a good mood or not.
Hopefully, one of these days the stars will align, because that is my absolute dream vehicle. Like
usually
I
with
think
me, Lola's in a bad mood based on me mouthing off about something. But those are awesome. Those the R6, man, the Avants. Yeah, those are amazing cars. Walther is actually very interested in the Ineos. Do you know about the Ineos?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Grenadier, right? Is there? Those are phenomenal vehicles.
Yeah, I think
like they're good-looking vehicles. I've never driven one, but they're good-looking vehicles.
I think he's supposed to be doing a test drive of that coming up somewhere soon. I wonder if that's what he was up to today. I don't know. Yeah, that might have been because he's on the list.
The EV that I'm going to be getting, and I can send you the link to it, but it's actually a company called Canoo, Canoo, and they make really, really unique looking vehicles, but you know, they're basically cab over designs, you know, to where you're basically driving like straight up at the front of the vehicle, and they're
I'm familiar with Canoo. I've been looking at their stuff. Those things can turn on a dime.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So you're talking about like these, which
and actually,
which they're almost. I think right now Canoo is putting out work van versions of what they're doing. So specifically made for companies. You know, there's a lot of different work occupational stuff they're doing. But I've been looking at the videos of it because soon enough, I think they're coming out with, I guess we can call it like civilian versions of those.
Yeah, I think their biggest focus. There's the ding. We got a minute. So their biggest focuses have been they have a NASA project that they did. They did. They're doing a big project for Walmart, which you can find online, and then also their biggest thing is they actually have a pretty good contract with the U.S. military in the with Army Futures in mobility, and they're doing really cool stuff there. But they've published some of those pictures, and they look really cool.
Yeah, I think Canoo's doing some good things, so I have been following them. Walt says he's doing the Ineos test drive tomorrow.
Oh, good for him.
I think that we're gonna see some really cool electric vehicles coming along in the space. In terms of overlanding, you said you're into overlanding. Cybertruck's coming out this year too, so
they say that
it's coming out, bro. It's gonna be out. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of a DAO, or decentralized autonomous organization like TUSC Crypto. TUSC cryptocurrency is a firearm-friendly e-commerce option for online payment transactions, secured on the blockchain. So when you're in the crypto market, please consider TUSC, TUSC.
This will get Patrick going. Asper Warrior says Euro wagons like the Ford Mustang Mach-E. That's from Asper Warrior. So Patrick is a Ford guy. I know we haven't let him chime in yet here. He's
the Ford Mach-E that should never have existed, or they should
not under that name.
It's a good looking EV though. Come on, it's a good looking EV.
And I've driven them. I've driven them.
What do you think?
They actually drive really nice. They're fantastic. I mean, like I think for an EV, they did a really great job.
They get top safety marks too. Go ahead. Sorry.
Like and Ford has that new the Ford Lightning, the F-150 Lightning, and man, I hate that they're using some of the old names from the SBT stuff. Like Lightning should be a combustion motor. It should be a big motor gas truck, but the Lightning is really cool and has one of the longest ranges of all the trucks that are out there. It's kind of cool.
You know what my main I don't like the Mach-E, and every time I look at it, I think it looks like a Pontiac Aztec. That's all I can see in my head. Is the Pontiac Aztec.
How do you get that in your head? The Mach-E
they
is
look
a
with
good
the
looking
weird
car.
butt on the end. It looks like it. Looks like a rounded off Aztec.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna have to pull up an Aztec.
Patrick, if it didn't have the name Mustang in it, would you be less of a hater?
I totally would have been cool with it.
Yeah, same. Because I'm we were a Blue Oval family. We moved to this country, with a Ford, and we'll always have a Ford. But,
that's an Aztec, right? That's an Aztec, I think. Is it?
Yeah, that's an Aztec. Go to the back end of a Mach-E.
But hold on a second. There's no way the Mach-E doesn't look. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up a Mach-E.
You got to go from the back side of a Mach-E.
Okay, hold on.
No, if they would have branded it under anything else, really, I would have been like, oh, cool, they're having an electric car. But trying to use the Mustang name just is like, nah, that ain't for me. That ain't for me. I ain't a Mustang.
I'm trying to find. I'm looking here to find a back end shot of it. It doesn't look.
Ford Mach-E. It's like the third row down for me. Oh, you're on a phone.
Yeah.
Go to images. Go to images. Oh,
I'm in images. I'm in images.
Yeah, scroll down. There's a back picture.
I'm gonna search back. Hold on. Let's see, because I don't think it's that bad looking.
Ooh,
that's a Pontiac.
No, that's a bad picture. Hold on a second. That's a bad picture.
Look at that right there. That's an Aztec.
Wait, are we looking at an Aztec or a Ford right now?
No, that.
Yeah, I can't tell. It's the same.
No, it doesn't look that bad.
Corporate wants you to find.
Okay, those are Mustang lights. Those are definitely Mustang lights in the back.
It's
Mustang style lights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we can put Mustang lights on an Aztec.
Yeah, no, I'll get some Mustang lights and tape into an Aztec, and I'll sell it at Mach-E.
Patrick, I'm a big fan of The Office, by the way. Like that's.
It's okay. So you got it.
Yeah. Walter says Aztecs are way collectible now. When did that happen?
Why? Why are they way collectible?
How is an Aztec collectible? There's got to be 1 million of Aztecs out there. When is that?
Oh. I don't think there's 1 million Aztecs out there because there's no way they survived that long.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Pontiacs were terrible.
Was there an all-wheel drive Aztec? Or was that just...
No way. I couldn't imagine there was.
Was there?
No way.
Yeah, no, there was.
Oh.
There really?
That's what I would go for if I had to have an Aztec all-wheel drive.
I'll tell you, something that's in that same realm and kind of in that same era, but off-road vehicle, was remember the Honda Element? Those were actually pretty
a good
cool.
car. Yeah.
They tried to market that as like an off-road vehicle, right?
Yeah, they were all-wheel drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aztec for sure came in all-wheel drive.
I had no idea.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
Hank's gonna get one now.
If I see one, it depends on how much they go for. But the Element was a good vehicle. Element was good. I'm a fan.
You could hose off the inside of that thing.
Yeah, you could wash it.
It had drain holes. Yeah.
And a lot of people were towing those. So you know how your Jeep Wranglers are very popular to be flat-towed.
Right.
But actually, wait, you can't tow an all-wheel drive that easily.
because you're not, because I think all-wheel drive you can only, if you tow it, you have to stop every so many miles, right? Because there's something with that transmission. I don't think you can have that transmission flat towed past a certain distance. Someone out there who knows better than me, but I remember people would flat tow those, but you have to stop like every couple of thousand miles or something and actually drive that thing because you'll mess up the transmission on it. Someone
a 5-door crossover with front engine, front wheel drive, and optional all-wheel drive. The Aztec featured a 4-speed transmission, blah blah blah. I had no idea it came in all-wheel drive.
That was really, I mean, when you think about it, Patrick, that was the peak of overlanding technology back then.
Yeah,
We're on the backside of it now.
There weren't a ton of Land Rovers or Range Rovers in the country at that time, I don't think.
Yeah.
That was mid-90s, early 90s?
So I'm just going to tell you guys, so like my brother has the Toyota, what is it, the CJ? FJ.
I like those.
That's very popular, cool. very popular, but I had the best overlanding vehicle ever built by man in the world. I'm going to share it with you guys right now. Boom.
Ooh, the Isuzu, what is that, a rodeo?
A Via How dare you? That is a Via Cross, sir. You never saw these? Isuzu Via Cross. I had one of these for a little while back there. As a matter of fact, if people look at my old videos, every now and then you will see Hank Strange with a Isuzu Via Cross in the background.
Those are kind of sexy, man.
They were awesome.
And I'll tell you, one of the greatest overlanding vehicles of all time is an Isuzu Trooper. Like, those are actually dope.
Yeah. I mean, basically, the Via Cross was built on a 2-door Trooper.
Yeah. That's a good-looking vehicle.
Yeah,
was that yours?
That car. Yes, I had it. No, this particular one was not mine, but I had it. So the white one like this was called the Iron Man Edition, which I had, which was very rare. I had one. It was perfect, and then Lola sold it because, I'm not allowed to have more than 2 vehicles at the same time, apparently. Because I guess I have this tendency to stack up a bunch of vehicles.
So many vehicles. Oh my god!
That I don't drive.
Yeah, never get driven.
Yeah. So my wife is one of those awesome people that if things sit around and don't get used, they get sold.
Get rid of them.
With the quickness, but that was awesome. I miss that thing, man. That's like Japanese engineering at its best. Which also we had a 4Runner, which Babyface.
God, you're never gonna live it down.
I
grew up in the front seat because I got heat stroke and ate some pork sandwich.
Yeah.
We went day.
We went to what the hell was that event we went to, Patrick? We went to a
NFA Review Channel's thing, I think.
Yeah, here in Florida, NFA Review had this event at the Aries range, and we went out there. And Patrick was hungry, and he waited until the pulled pork was down to the grums at the bottom of the thing. And I said, Patrick, don't eat that, man.
You did not. You said, I'm heat stroke too. We got to get out of here.
Yeah, I tried to talk him out of eating it.
Hell no, he didn't.
Yes, I did. I tried to talk you out of it. We're going. This is like a brand new 4Runner. Belonged to Lola, actually. That was her car.
It was a nice vehicle.
Vehicle. Very nice. It had the KDSS system in it. If you know anything about that. Y'all even had the roof rack. What's that thing called? Yeah, the flip out
for overlanding.
Yeah, the tent. Yeah, we had the flip out tent. But the KDSS system is something that you would find in Land Cruisers. So when you hit bumps, it actually is adapting to those bumps, so it feels like you're like a smooth ride going over it. And only this one particular, and I forgot exactly what kind of 4Runner it was, because anytime we went to the dealership, the people were like, I can't believe you have this 4Runner. So we're going down the highway. I'm doing like 70 miles an hour.
I was trying to sleep because I knew it was churning.
He is sitting next to me, okay? Like he said, dozing off. All of a sudden, he doesn't give me any warning. He opens the window, throws up out the window while I'm doing 70 miles an hour, and it all comes back.
I legitimately felt bad about that one. Oh, God.
How long ago was this?
A couple of years.
5 years, 6 years ago?
Yeah, I'll never forget.
Oh,
maybe longer than that?
Patrick. Patrick, man, come
That
on.
was bad time. That was bad time for me.
Don't ever.
And Lola said the vehicle was never the same again. So
Yeah.
she ended up getting rid of it.
It doesn't matter how cool that 4Runner was. Plus, if you remember, Patrick, so Gainesville, there's a lot of 4Runners around Gainesville.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how my 4Runner went.
Man, I felt so bad. And then not only did I physically feel bad, I mean, like, I felt so bad. I felt so bad. I still feel bad.
It's all right. It's okay. Lola remembers that every time she sees a 4Runner now. Yeah, she goes,
Marley was looking at him the other day. She's thinking about a new SUV.
I think 4Runners, actually Toyota has a special edition 4Runner out.
Tell me all about it, Mr. Strange. Why don't you sell it to me?
Yeah, isn't there?
Because
there's a special edition.
The reason why I was mentioning this is we were at the Strawberry Festival down in Plant City, and we looked at the new Ford Broncos, and they had this special edition Ford Bronco with like the powder blue and with the white roof, and Marley was absolutely in love with it. So
yeah, but you guys weren't
Those things
looking.
are sweet.
Yeah, but you weren't looking at a real Bronco though.
I think the one we were looking at was a Sport. Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't looking
that's
at
not
the
a
real
Bronco.
Yeah, that's not a real Bronco.
thing.
Don't do that to
I don't know
Marley.
if they have that.
Get her the real Bronco. But here you
It was
go.
a heritage.
Boom! That's what you need right there.
Oh, that's
Look
so
at that.
beautiful.
Look at that. Look at the
Well,
gold wheels on that thing. What, are you kidding me?
Personally, I will never own a black vehicle. They
Really?
get too dirty too quickly. Ugh.
It's a 4Runner. Guess what happens in a 4Runner? Dirt.
Marley is never. Well, no. I'm gonna. If we had a 4Runner, I'm going off roading with it.
Yeah,
So
it's supposed to be dirty, man.
There are
But
actually
that is
some great
beautiful.
spots up
There's
towards
a-
y'all, like towards Ocala, to go
Yeah.
off roading. and all
Yeah.
that.
We got a couple good ones up here.
There's actually a place right off the road. You know, you've got to, and we're not even talking about guns, but you should come out.
This has been car talk. Car talk the whole time.
You should come out and visit us, Ron, and bring some guns. We'll shoot on my range, but not far from here. There's a what's like mud
Dirt track, right?
Yeah, it's like a mud. What do they call it? A muddin arena, or what's it called?
Muddin.
Oh, wow.
It's muddin. You have to live in the country long enough because it's muddin.
Oh, muddin.
Muddin.
Yeah, muddin. Yeah, there's a place right here where people go do that, and it's pretty hardcore. I've heard people wreck their rigs out there.
Ooh.
Yeah, but just one more time look at that.
That's beautiful with the TRD pinstriping and everything.
Yeah,
I
man.
love that.
That is
That
awesome.
looks so good.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's making me nostalgic for a 4Runner, but Patrick will never be allowed.
I can christen it for you. Yeah, I can christen it.
No.
We'll take you to Sonny's one night.
You never be. And there's actually a toy. There's a toy version of that. That's how you know that's a special edition. There's actually a Hot Wheels toy version of that out there that you can get.
Hank is a Hot Wheels fiend, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, you just mentioned Sunnies. Do you guys pick which one's better, Sunnies or Four Rivers? Which one's your
Four
go-to?
Rivers. Four Rivers, hands down.
I like Sonny's. I like their sauces. That's my favorite thing. Marley will not. She's not a. If I say the words Four Rivers, she's gonna go. Nope, we ain't going there.
Oh, she doesn't
wow.
like.
I
love
Really?
Four
She had-
Rivers.
We had like 2 bad experiences
Oh,
back
wow.
to back at the
Oh.
one in Archer by the interstate.
Mhm.
And after that, she's like, I ain't giving them another chance. I was like,
Dude,
I kind of like it, but okay.
Four Rivers is like from the UCF area around the time that we graduated too, man. Like you should have been.
Was it? Is it really? I didn't realize it was
Yeah,
from Orlando.
it was right over on Winter Park. It was in Winter Park on Fairbanks or Lee Avenue or.
Oh, I always thought that was a
Oh,
Gainesville
yeah.
thing.
No. It's
Sonny's
a,
is
it was.
Yeah,
Is it?
Sonny's. You
Okay.
said
Yeah.
Patrick was saying
Sonny's
that.
is
yeah.
over by the airport's the original one. It still looks exactly the same
Yeah.
too. We love going there because it's straight out of like 1985. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, Four Rivers is that's the ticket, man. I
didn't
love
realize it was
Four Rivers.
Orlando. Huh.
So look, this
Winter
is
Park.
the 40th anniversary special edition. By the way, Toyota. Here's something that's really crazy about like some of these Japanese companies, and I'm a fan of Japanese cars. They've been using the same frickin' molds for 4Runners, I believe, for 40 years.
You know, one thing I will say though is we drove past a 4Runner and we were at the park the other day. That's when we were leaving and we drove past a 4Runner and we both commented, it still looks like a 4Runner, and it still looks like an SUV. It doesn't. It's not like all rounded, and it looks like a nice square SUV, which is what I like. I like that older looking SUV style, and Toyota's never gotten rid of it.
Well,
Ford's crapped all over there.
I think this is one of the few Toyotas that's actually made in Japan, the 4Runner, because the Tundra and the Tacoma. Well, the Tundra and Tacoma are made here in America.
You sure the 4Runner is shipped overseas?
I'm pretty sure.
Really?
I can look that up. But yeah, the 4Runner is made in Japan. Seriously.
My great uncle,
and it probably still has a CD player.
Do you think it? Well, I can't say no. My Mustang is. Oh, does my Mustang have a CD player? I don't even know if it does.
Yeah, I'm gonna look.
I'd have to go look because I've never used it.
Patrick, I'll tell you, I love vehicles that are shaped like a refrigerator. So, like, even for my Land Rover that I drive, it's the last version of the Discovery that's still like, shaped
Box
like a
square.
box,
Oh, but they look so good.
The new ones, the new ones are like. Oh.
Yeah, it just doesn't look right. You need to have some like gas cans hanging off the back, a snorkel on the front, and just be driving through the Sahara Desert or something. Like that's what it's supposed to look like. All dusty and so good.
And boxy, like boxy.
No, they do. An SUV is supposed to be boxy. Ugh.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up exactly. I'm pretty sure these things are made in Japan, but it's somewhere here in Wikipedia if you look through Wikipedia. But yeah, man, they've been making this thing for 40 years.
And all 4Runners have been built in Japan at Toyota's factory in Tahara, Aichi, or at the Hino Motors plant in Hamura. Yep, I mean, I guess they ship them all over.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I have respect for that.
I did not know that, and I just looked it up, and you're exactly right. Yeah, I did not.
I had no idea that. I thought they were making them stateside. I mean, that it's got to be expensive to ship 4Runners across. Because you're common enough.
Well, if you think about it, they've been making that 4Runner for so long, and they haven't changed the body style that they're just printing money off of those that tooling.
Molds, yeah.
They're just printing money off of that.
That's what's so likable about them is it looks correct, Yeah, it looks the part.
DCG44 says Tundra is made in Texas. I like a Tundra. I like a Tacoma. I think the best used car resale value what is it? Was it used cars or just trucks? But it was the number one was Tacoma. A used Tacoma has and then number 2 was Tundra, and number 3 was the 4Runner in terms of resale value. High resale value.
Really well.
Yeah. Try to buy a frickin' FJ, a Toyota FJ today.
I always liked them. I thought they looked good.
Yeah. They're still holding their value out there pretty well. So, and it's just the way that they're built for going off road and stuff like that. So, even the one we had, man, that thing could climb. That thing was amazing. I don't even think I used it like to a 10th of its abilities. And I had some adventures in it. I tried to live out there. I would have to go find the videos that I did of it. I'm trying to see if I have any anywhere. But yeah. Man, amazing. Okay, I'll stop going on about it.
You're asking about cars.
Yeah, we do need to get Trailblazer Firearms to come out here though and do some shooting with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What? Yeah, so you've got these two guns. We should do a little
shooting competition of who can shoot the steel furthest with one of these little LifeCards.
And I guarantee you that.
Yeah. We can have a lot of fun with that.
Right, I think we can do that. So you guys have the LifeCard, and you've got the pivot. Anything else?
So there's a few things that are in the hopper, in the product development hopper that I can't actually talk about. But I will say this, and this has been something that we've said, not supposed to say it, but it's something we've said on some publications before, is that if you look at the pivot, there are 2 parts on it that are very prominently polymer, that are designed to be somewhat modular and changed out. One of them is the stock, which holds the Glock mag, and the other one is the grip module, which holds also the mag. But those are held in where they can be swapped out. And so look for that gun in the not so far future to do other magazine patterns, like other magazine pattern compatibility. That's probably the next coolest thing. And then also, not in the not too distant future would be LifeCard in some different calibers as well.
I was just about to ask. I want to see 25 or 32 auto.
Okay, yeah, let's get everyone to put in their auto requirements. I'm going to say the first one you should do is 5.7.
Okay.
I cannot say anything, nor will I say
Oh,
anything,
okay, I
but-
call dibs.
LifeCard. I mean, you know, if now that I think about it,
perfect.
the 5.7 is small enough. It could potentially fit in.
Yeah. I mean, 22 Magnum is really good. Let's be honest about that. Yeah, 22 Magnum
5.7
is really
is so
good.
cool, though.
Yeah, I mean,
5.7
come on.
is so friggin' cool.
Yes, you got to do.
The Who Moved My Freedom podcast is made possible by our partners at 2A Commerce. Veteran owned and with over 20 years experience, 2A Commerce is the leader in custom e-commerce and web application development in the shooting sports industry. Clients include major brands such as Guard Dog Body Armor, Sylvan Arms, AccuFire Technologies, The Tactical Games, Warrior Knife Company, and yours truly, Hank Strange. Visit 2A Commerce and support this show by supporting them. Once again, visit the number 2acommerce.com.
Lola is saying that 5.7 is $5.7 is not $1 around, Lola. It might be 75
It's coming down now that PSA is making ammo and Federal's pumping out ammo more. It's coming down pretty quick.
Yes, and hopefully, did we get an official announcement from PSA? Because I thought at SHOT Show,
About 5.7?
Yeah, weren't they showing?
Yeah, that's the next cartridge.
They were showing
AAC. The next AAC cartridge is going to be 5.7, and then they were going to branch off into some steel cased. I think he said after that. 7.6239, 5.45, some stuff like that.
Yeah. So I think not only will a LifeCard be nice in 5.7, but the pivot,
Pivot in 5.7 makes more sense to me with the longer barrel.
Yeah. And integrally suppressed pivot. Come on now.
LifeCard 25 ACP, 32 ACP. 32 ACP is my new favorite caliber.
Why?
It's small, it's quiet, it's reloadable, single center fire instead of rim fire. It's awesome. 32 is awesome.
And I'll tell you, there's so many, like with there's very few calibers now that you have to just rule out as like, oh, you can't use that for self-defense. With the way that projectile technology and powder technology is going, I mean, you like 32. Before it used to be like, man, anything under 9mm, you can't even really consider it. Now 380 is a very, very viable self-defense option. 32 is not far behind, you know. And for smaller hands, for people that need lighter recoil, 32 can be a great option.
Yeah, I need to look it up. I think Fort Scott's making a 32, aren't they? Because I've seen their 380 drop a brown. Have you ever seen that video of the 380 dropping a black bear? Yeah. Yeah.
I've had it in my brain for a couple years now, and I'm gonna have to pick up a cheap X grade model of turning one of the Beretta, is it the 84 or the 85, whichever one is the 32 auto, little tiny 32s, into a what was it, the Hush Puppy? Was that what they called it? The Knight's Armament version that has the slide lock, so it's single shot only, and then you can like rack a new one in.
Is that like a Spec Ops gun or something?
It was. They did it in the 90s. They do Knights does a run of them every couple years, but they're crazy expensive. I've been toying with it in my brain of like milling one, buying a cheap one, milling it, and like creating that myself. Because 32 out of a suppressor is incredible. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah,
they make that the Tomcat. I think it's the Tomcat 3032. They make that in a.
That's
the
closest
version.
thing I've seen. But the only thing is, I want it with a slide lock, so it's single shot. Like that's the piece of the puzzle.
Okay, so you don't get the action.
All you get is the hammer dropping, and it's. I mean, 32 is dead silent.
DCG44 says 32 ACP is fun. Fort Scott makes 32 ACP now. So
I didn't know that. Hey, you gotta get a couple boxes to play with.
It's only going to be a matter of time before they put up video of them dropping a bear with that thing.
See, that's
if you look, you'll see they've dropped bears with 380.
Their ammo in those smaller mouse calibers work really well because you're getting that deep penetration from them. I didn't know they had 32 ACP.
Yeah, they're going to be doing 5.7 also. Now their ammo tends to be a little bit more expensive, so PSA is gonna help with the price coming down. But the Fort Scott Munition stuff, which obviously they sponsor me for ammo. Full disclosure out there for anyone, but I think those guys are doing some really cool things.
Hunting,
but
nobody has ever put 32 ACP and hunting on the same box ever.
They go hunting with all this ammo. I'm telling you, they're always. I know. If you follow them on social media, you will see what I'm talking about. They're always putting that up. Which reminds me, we got to go through this, Ron. Social media for Trailblazer. Let me pull up Instagram here so we can find it.
Yes.
Because I need to make sure that I've got the right one. What is your? What is it?
It's at Trailblazer Firearms, plural, all one word. No hyphens.
Okay, Trailblazer Firearms. Hold on, let me just don't pay attention to anything that happens up there.
So actually, that page that you had up is a spam page. That one that's right there. Trailblazer Firearms, and just make sure
this one plural. Here. There's Firearm. Okay, so that's a spam. Let me.
And you can see there's a bunch of people that actually follow that.
Oh, damn it! That's the one that I'm following. Okay, I didn't know
that's
that,
actually a spam page. So for everybody listening to this, make sure.
Oh yeah, big difference. 3,000 followers versus 78,000 followers. Big difference.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of people spamming. Okay, so it's this one here.
That one right there. Yep, there you go.
Up top. Okay, I'm following that one too.
Trailblazer Firearms.
Okay, so I unfollowed that other one, but yeah, so this is for anyone who's looking. Here's some stuff with the pivot. Is this the owner?
That's actually one of the first employees of the company. His name's Chad Cook. He's a stud. Believe it or not, that guy actually does not work out. But he's
Oh, that's okay. I don't work out either.
Real familiar.
He's an awesome guy. Yeah.
Why does that name sound so familiar? Where did he used to work?
Chad Cook, no, he's been with Trailblazer. I mean, before that, he was a like a pastor and all types of stuff.
You're thinking about other Chad from Keltec. No,
I'm thinking he looks like Keltec Chad with the gray and white beard, but that's not the same Chad.
He does look like Keltec Chad a little bit.
He looks just like him.
The gun world has way too many Chads, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Some of these people need to make up
that
different
beard
names.
threw me off. I thought that's who it was. I thought he had left Keltec.
That looks good. Oh no, Chad, no.
So actually, Hank, that picture you're just looking at, if you follow that page that we have tagged in that one, he's actually from the Caribbean as well. And I think the name he goes by on the internet is Juan. No, at Pew Culture, at Pew Culture.
Oh, Pew Culture. Yeah, okay, boom. I'll follow. Yeah. Oh, it looks like he's following me already. I'll follow him back.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah. He's awesome.
Okay.
What is that?
Yeah.
What is he? Oh. Nice.
What the? Oh, machine gun. It's a.
Where's he from?
If you go to his picture, there's a kid in a wheelchair with a machine
from,
gun. 249.
What's that?
It looks like a 249. I can't tell. It might be.
Oh, you're talking about this one right here. Oh.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah. That's cool.
So he's a pretty interesting story that I can actually relate to him a lot in the sense that when he first started walking into gun shops, when he first started getting in the industry, people would say oh, if you're not a citizen, you can't buy a gun. And they would make up all these reasons why a guy that kind of looked like him could not or should not buy a gun. And now he's got an SOT and he has all types of full auto toys and he has one of the best collections. But it's kind of cool seeing him and I had a very similar journey at the beginning where some shops will make gun buying intimidating to certain people.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of that, and they do it to lots of different people. They'll do it to women, first-time buyers.
Exactly.
There's a whole bunch of different things, And you know what? And the flip side of that, I've seen gun shops that even young black dudes walk in there smelling of reefer and all that kind of stuff, and they treat them just like anybody else. So
exactly.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. Non-judgmental. Yeah,
and the industry has come a long way with a lot of that.
Walt says the gun world has way too many hanging Chads. There's a lot
there's
of
a Florida
Chads.
Joke. That's a good Florida joke for everyone.
There's a lot of Chads in the gun world, man. Lots of dudes named Chad. So, for example, tomorrow night we've got PSA on. And the CEO is Chad.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and then from Iraq Veteran has a Chad. That's who does all the
God, you're right. I didn't even think of all these.
And then Keltec has a Chad. Everybody got a Chad. If you're not a gun company out there unless there's a dude named Chad working for you.
You're gonna have to hire a Chad, Hank.
Yeah, your middle name, you're Patrick Chad James.
Chad James.
So we actually have two. Yeah. We have two Chads at Trailblazer.
Okay, so they make up for our lack of Chad.
Right.
There's a Chad at Aero Precision. The guy that runs all of sales at Shadow Systems is Chad, and then and then there's one of our reps.
Chads?
There are a lot of
At least it's not Chaz with a Z. That
would be a good.
Now those are the people you stay away from. If they got a Z instead of a...
Isn't that a nickname for someone who's named Chad?
Chaz.
No,
it
that's
is.
like a weird
no, it is.
It is. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
No,
Chaz
is.
I've never heard it as a nickname.
Right.
Yeah, I have a buddy in Chattanooga. His name's Chaz, but he's actually like a Chad.
Yeah, it's always something. It's like it always becomes like Chadster, Chadmeister, Okay, so let's see. What's your other social media stuff that you're on? Are you on Twitter?
So for everything, we don't do much on Twitter. I believe we do have a Twitter handle, but we don't do any posting there. But for Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, everything is at Trailblazer Firearms.
Okay,
plural.
You're on
singular.
Twitter. You're not using that. Okay, so Facebook, right? Okay.
For Facebook, it's at Trailblazer Firearms, plural. And then also for our website, which also there are a lot of fake websites out there, it's www.trailblazerfirearms.com. So everything is just Trailblazer Firearms, one word, plural, and make sure that's what you put in. But if you search,
is this the one right here? This one?
That is what you'll. Yep, that is us.
This is it here.
That's
okay,
wild,
so I'll make sure I'm following.
That's wild that you have so many wannabe accounts.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty challenging for us because we'll get our customer service team. The guy that runs that, Ben, he'll actually do a phenomenal job of trying to talk people down because they'll say, "Hey, I sent you money for my gun like 5 weeks ago, and I haven't heard anything from you guys." And we're like, man, you didn't send it to us for sure, but you sent it to somebody, and so we actually work with our attorney to make sure that all those sites are taken down, that we actually take control of a lot of those sites, not just on the internet, but also on like Instagram and on social media. So we have to work pretty hard for a lot of that, which is flattering, there's it's that's cool that there's
amongst the gun industry.
Yes.
It's common.
Yeah,
it's common that there's people out there spamming them and doing a lot of things. Yes.
Yeah, trying to scam.
Yeah, trying to scam and get money from folks and stuff like that. Yes.
Yep.
And you have to look out for that. And even like Alt Control. What is it? What's the name of the guy that does the 3D printing? Alt Control Q?
Control Q?
Control Q was there's a lot of people that are spamming his thing too. And I would just say if you're out there, be really careful who you're sending money to in the gun world.
100%.
Yeah. And typically, go ahead.
What I will say, I'm going to throw this out there. There's both sides of that. So there's the side of really terrible people trying to spam and take money from you. There's the other side of like the used market for like accessories and night vision and any of that sort of stuff. I have sent people lots and lots of money without knowing anything about them, just seeing a Facebook picture, and received all this shit in the mail. Like I've actually never been scammed by some of those folks. So
Patrick, you remember old school ARFCOM days when you'd be on the buy sell trade page and you would just be like, man, I really want that ACOG, and somebody would have just brought it back from overseas and he's like, well, I'll sell you this ACOG for $400, and you're like, oh, $400 is a lot of money to send through PayPal.
Fine.
And man, that stuff would always show up, and like I was at UCF, like making not a lot of money, and I'm like, this $400 is like my rent, but I really want that ACOG.
And I've had a couple. What did I order before? I can't remember what it was. I bought some like a laser or something not that long ago, and I was like, Marley, I bought this. I paid way under what it should cost. I don't think it's gonna show up. I may have just wasted $300. The damn thing showed up in my door, no matter what.
Right. Yeah. In better shape than they promised you,
So
that's one thing about this industry. We have. And I feel so fortunate to work in this industry, with all, all of us and everybody. We have a higher concentration, I believe, of good quality people in our industry than any other industry in the world. I just think we have the absolute best people in the world.
I agree with that. I think that, it's just the nature of what it is, right? Responsible folks, people who take that very seriously, take their name and their honor seriously. Now, that's why we've noticed lately, though, there's a lot of scamming going on, right? Because it's on the flip side, it's kind of easy to get out there and scam these guys who believe like they're just dealing with another gun guy that's, honorable and everything. And like you guys said, it just used to be that way. But there's a lot. I see more and more of it going on now. Go ahead. Sorry, Patrick.
I picked up a purse. That's what it was. I picked up this purse, and it was well below what it should be because it's broken. I got a part coming in to fix it, and I told Marley, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I might get it. I might not get it. But yeah,
dude, that's a nice build.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
this
super
is my
nice build.
this is my. Oh, I just finished this. This is my Bulgarian 74 build out. Actually, I just finished the paint on it. That's why it's sitting here all fresh as I just finished coating it. But thank you very much.
Yeah,
That's
as
awesome.
I was saying, you want to check out Babyface P. He does a lot of builds.
Yeah.
So YouTube spends a lot of time trying to delete him.
36,000 subs, slowly growing, but it's all building stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool, man. We actually just did an AK range day just this past weekend, and in Montana, like you have a guy that looks like me, and then my buddy whose kid is the diaper I change. Him and I
With
show
AKs.
up, and he has he has an AK underfolder, and my AK is a little bit more modern looking, but man, we show up and just start ripping steel at 100, 200, 300, and people don't even know what to do with themselves.
What's your AK? What AK are you rocking, man? Do some bragging here. I don't know if you have it. You can always show it to us if you want.
I don't have it to where I could grab it easily, and definitely not in the 4.5 minutes we have left. But I've got that particular one, and I've got a bunch of AKs. I love AKs, but one's one that I used to do a little bit of interning for Mike Register at Spikes Tactical. So anybody that's Central Florida, you guys will know Spikes Tactical. And he had a guy named James Dunst back in the late 2000s that was building AKs for him. And no longer does it. I don't think there's any affiliation there anymore. I don't even know if James is still around building AKs, but he built an AK under the Spikes Tactical name, and it has Spikes Tactical on the actual AK.
That's really cool.
Oh, that's
pretty
a big deal.
slick, man.
Nice.
It's something I got as an inside deal, and they used to sell them just on a very limited basis back when Spikes was still doing just gun shows.
Oh, I never heard that. Wow.
Yeah, so that one, it's kind of cool. It's a pretty cool AK. I'll send you a picture of it.
Yeah, I would buy that. If you see a Spikes Tactical AK out there, buy it.
That's like the dudes that have Magpul lowers.
Yes.
I mean, Magpul did a very limited run of AR-15
China.
lowers.
I think it's called China Doll, right? The China Doll.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Some guys call it that, like a fully built AR with Magpul on it. Yeah, and there's lowers and the full guns. Go ahead. Sorry, Ron.
Well, I'll tell you, talking about Magpul, I'm going to put a little shameless plug here for. There's a guy named DK. He runs a lot of stuff at Magpul, and he has a charitable organization that he started. He started it years and years ago, but they're having a big event on Friday. It's called the Special Operations Care Fund, SOC-F, and it's just a really great organization if anybody gets a chance to look at it. But they have their big event going on Friday coming up, and we Trailblazer, we donated a couple really awesome, good custom guns that we've never done before to it, and we just think it's a great organization. But the guy that runs that organization, he runs a lot of stuff at Magpul. His name's David Kramer. Just super good.
What's the website for it? I'll try to pull it up.
I believe it's soc-f.org. So soc-f.org. And it's a phenomenal.
If you can't tell for Hank, I am Hank's. If you watch Joe Rogan's podcast, I am Jamie for Hank.
Yeah. Hey, Jamie,
I am his Googler while he tries to figure things out.
Yeah.
Is this it?
That's it. Yep. SOC-F.
Awesome. There you go. Oh, okay. Very cool.
It looks like they're out of Atlanta.
They are, yeah, and so is David Kramer, and you can see David Kramer's name shows up there. But yeah, he's like the VP of sales or director of sales for Magpul, but just a phenomenal organization.
Oh, cool. Yeah, cool. There's a couple of things like that. Like allegedly, there's the Glock has an AR out there that
they do.
Yeah, that's about to hit. It's going to hit the streets. I've heard. I don't know if they've probably already sold them all for all we know. I'm sure there's people out there just buying them up.
Sitting at distributors in boxes.
Yeah, but if I had the opportunity, I'd get one.
Right?
Depends on price.
Absolutely, I would.
Yeah. Those things, especially if Glock doesn't make any more. If that's all they have, or they don't bring any more into the country or anything like that, it's gonna go up.
Like I bought a couple of those Glock P80s, like they had their pistol 80, like the
Hank
original
has one.
Gen 1 Glocks.
Yep.
But those are super cool, and I don't know if they're not still
I haven't
making
seen
them
them
under
again.
that same name.
No.
They're now doing they stopped the P80 and they're now doing a true Gen 1 17.
Right.
So now you can get and they did the only thing that I think they said that was different was safety stuff, and tinivers is no longer done, so they're now doing nitrite coating.
So wait, they're
Okay.
selling that? You're saying they're selling that?
Yeah, I think it's probably
they
through
are.
Lipsies. It seems like everything's through Lipsies.
Oh, okay, special,
But
another special
It's
thing.
special edition. And
Okay.
it comes in the original Tupperware. I really considered buying one because it's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, they're really cool. I have one of the P80s that are in the original Tupperware and everything. The guy at
Yep.
Lipsy's that heads up all of that, his name's Jason Klesner, and he's one of the smartest guys in the industry, but he's the guy that came up with the old school Vickers stuff and everything. I mean, he's just like a brilliant mind for all those exclusives they do.
Yeah, those are always good things. If you have the money to get into it, I think it's not so bad. All right, it looks like we're gonna take a quick break here, and then we're gonna be wrapping up the show. We still have a lot of stuff to talk about, but we will have Ron back on if we haven't completely, if he's like, I'll never go back on.
What did I say? First, hold on.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of manufacturers like Safety Harbor Firearms. SHF is a quintessential family-owned small business, totally representative of the American dream. Safety Harbor Firearms is a Florida-based manufacturer of the compact entry stock and the SHTF 50 upper for an AR-15 lower. Also, SHF happily delivers on your Sten gun parts needs. So don't forget to check out stenparts.com and safetyharborfirearms.com.
All right. What's up?
Real quick, I was just going to say, I watched a video on it, and I think they said that, I want to say these are being made in Austria, and I believe they had to go way back in the factory somewhere and find some of the original molds for like Tupperware and things like that to pull this thing back together. It wasn't something simple.
This is the Gen
It really
1,
makes me
right?
want one.
So how much is it?
Yeah.
You said you saw it somewhere?
I
How much is
haven't
it?
found one for sale yet. Lipsy's has it listed, but you got to be a wholesaler, and I don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we should look into it because that's probably going to be.
I kind of want one.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a cool thing. Listen, I have a friend that you guys have probably seen on my channel. I did stuff with what we called him the real Jesse James. Jesse James has that that Magpul AR.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah. And he's got a bunch of Knights armament and a lot of other cool stuff. But I'm not talking about Jesse James, the bike builder, and all of that. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about another friend of mine that his name is Jesse James. But yeah, those are cool things to have, man. And some things that will we ever see Magpul put their name on another lower? I don't know.
Hank, I'll tell you, and I'll put this publicly out there. I have one of those Glock P80s, and if you really, really want it, I will sell it to you for what I bought it for.
Oh, okay. I have a P80.
No, Hank has
No.
it. I'm the one.
The Glock, you have one of the Glock ones, like the not Polymer 80, but the ones that's
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He picked it up when they
Oh, yeah,
first
yeah.
hit. He picked one up.
Yeah, I have one, and I also have a Gen 1 Glock.
Oh,
Do you
nice.
really?
Like an
You
original
sure
one?
about that?
Is that a Gen 1 or a Gen 2? I thought I have a Gen 1. Yeah.
It has a
I'd have to
single.
look at
It's like a single pin. When you look
Yeah,
at the frame.
yes,
Hank
yeah.
would know.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Wow.
Yeah, remember I bought that from that Army Navy store?
No finger
No, I'm gonna have
grooves
to
on
look
it.
at this.
No, I've got it. I think it's in the house. I don't
Whenever
have it right now.
when we
But
get off the show, send me a picture. I want to see.
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't know you had a true
I
Gen
am
1.
unashamedly a Glock fanboy.
Same.
Yeah, Glock fanboy. Like you said earlier, when Walther came on, I actually carry a Walther. That's what's on my hip right now. PPS on my hip. But I like Glock. I can't really knock them, except they're not changing anything. But it's kind of like what we were talking about with Toyota or Porsche and companies like that. What really do they need to change? We want something different because we're gun guys and we're looking for cool and all that kind of stuff. But if you've done something really good and you don't have problems selling it, I'm not sure what.
Man, actually, for a second, I thought you said you carry a Walther PP PK, but the PPS, man. Like I don't know if you have
I have
an
a
M1 or an M2.
M2,
but I have both of them.
Yeah.
I love both of those.
Yeah,
they're such good guns.
yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I have the PPS M2, so I like Walther. I like Walther's stuff. They do sponsor the show, but they never put any kind of pressure on me. And you know, they always sent stuff out and did things with us and all that. But I just I was like, oh, I'm tired of the Glock. Let me find something, and I wandered into it. Did you want to show us something, Ron?
No.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were gonna go pull out a PPS M2 right now. I was about to say.
No, I mean I can show you an M2 and an M1.
Yeah,
actually,
mine looks terrible right now.
PPS
That's why I don't
M2.
want to show it. It's in my holster.
All fuzzy.
Yeah, it's good. Oh, it looks
Got
horrible.
lint.
You know,
It's got all the lint and dirt.
It's got the here.
Whatever
This
my
is
SIG is. My
this
SIG
is
is the same
super
thing.
bad. This no.
Yeah.
You haven't seen anything this bad. Look at that. That is super
Oh my
bad.
gosh.
Why?
Yeah.
That's the
You need to take
deodorant.
a
That's the
toothbrush into
deodorant
hot
caked
water.
on it.
I don't know how there's no deodorant in my holster.
Oh.
It's just terrible.
Dude,
It's
it
just
does.
terrible.
It comes down from your underarm and it sneaks into your holster. I'm telling you, I got the
Oh,
same on mine.
okay.
Really?
Yeah, Lola
Yeah.
always tells me I use too much. Lola gets mad at me for deodorant.
You put too much on?
Yeah.
That's your problem. You're sweating it all
She's like,
off.
what's the matter with you?
You're sweating all the
Right now, Lola's somewhere laughing at me. Look at this thing. Yeah, you bastard. Now you got busted. You know, I don't use that spray-on stuff, so okay. I guess it's somehow migrating down. Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, it does, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So yeah, I need one of those like industrial air things to keep everything clean. But yeah. Lola says yes, you have a Gen 1 Glock. A friend found it for you. So yeah, my friend Bubba Roadkill found that in the store, and I paid a ton of money
recent,
for it.
Right? I think I remember this.
Yeah, so I do.
Remember this.
Yes. So anyway, listen, we do have to wrap this up. Before I do that, I do want to remind everyone we've got the guys coming on from PSA tomorrow. So we'll be talking about PSA. The Gathering is coming up in South Carolina this weekend, actually. This coming weekend. So Lola and I will be out there. For anyone who's planning on being out there, we will be there. You will see us out there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And those guys are going to come on to talk about some stuff. Now, switching back over here to my friend and, fellow GT Banner. No one knows what that means except me and you, Ron. No one knows.
Yeah.
Except all the Guyanese people out there. So anyway, it was fun, man. It was fun doing this. I hope you come back on. I would like to see, what other stuff. And I didn't get to say this, but congratulations. What's your position at Trailblazer?
In August 1st, I started at Trailblazer as the president.
There you go. Boom.
Wow.
Yes.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. We'll be hitting you up for a sponsorship of the podcast. Don't worry about it.
There you go. There you go. But yeah, I can't thank you enough for having us on the podcast, and we really appreciate it, man. It's been fantastic, and I've always been a big fan of you and Lola and Patrick. It was great to get a chance to meet you, and I'm excited to see some more of your builds. If it's anything like that, AK, man, I'm excited to see all of them.
Absolutely, man. It was great having you on, and obviously, the Indian dudes are running the show around here. We're taking over the gun world for all the people out there.
Here you go.
Hopefully, man, we'll get you to come out here and do some stuff with us on the range, make some videos and stuff like that. We'll get you back over here in Florida, and then maybe we
take you to Publix to get you some pub subs.
There you go. Yeah,
I was gonna hit him up for some roti and curry from his mom, but okay,
we gotta make that road
Patrick.
trip, man. We gotta make the road trip down to South Florida.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
So before we get out of here, I want to give you and Patrick a chance. I'm going to start with Patrick to tell the folks out there, how they can follow you guys and communicate with you. Let's start with Patrick.
YouTube.com/babyfaceP. BabyfaceP.com will take you to Utreon, which is where the good stuff will be saved for now. All the builds will go on there. We still have a set me in the works. I haven't started it yet because we've been really busy with the baby, but Set Me is coming. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I think that's all I got right now. Instagram, baby_faceP on Instagram.
Yeah, everyone is waiting for Chromie V to build his first gun. That's what people want to see.
I cannot wait until he's old enough for him and I to sit down and build a gun.
Just move his little baby hands around and make a video, man. That's going to go viral.
He's got to officially do his own. He's going to officially make his own.
Oh, okay. All right. Awesome. Ron, for the folks out there who want to find out more about Trailblazer Firearms, what do they need to do? How can they contact you guys?
So if you want to learn more about the Trailblazer Firearms, our LifeCard pistol, and our pivot rifle, go to our website, which is www.trailblazerfirearms.com. All one word, no hyphens, and it's plural, trailblazerfirearms.com. And on all social media platforms, we are at Trailblazer Firearms, plural, no hyphens, and not the one that's at Trailblazer Firearm, singular. It's plural and all that. So follow us and, send us a DM, and we'll be there to answer all your questions. And thanks so much for having us, to both of you guys. Hank, Patrick, it means a lot to us. We're a small company, so this is awesome.
Thanks for coming on, man. I'm glad we can make this happen. Hopefully we do more stuff like this, and we get a chance to see the cool stuff that you guys are building going forward here. Here's one of the things we need to do. So, by the way, I'm just going to remind everyone, if you want to listen to the audio version of this podcast, we put it up on iTunes, all your other favorite places to listen to audio podcasts. You can get it from Audible. You can also go to hankstrange.com and get it from there. But we always have our guests drop words of wisdom on us, Ron. So hit us with some words of wisdom, man.
And I'll say this, instead of getting the biggest, fanciest, most, tuned up gun, get a decent gun that works, something like a standard Glock 19, put some decent sights on it, and then get as much training as you possibly can. Get as much training, save your ammo, or save your money, get ammo, get training, become as proficient as you can be with the firearm that you carry. Our biggest thing that we preach is responsible gun ownership, so make sure that you're somebody that you'd be proud of to have a gun out there, and that you can, if you're going to carry the gun, carry the responsibility and burden of making sure you know exactly how to use it and you're as proficient as possible with it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for joining us here. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow. And let me make sure I end all of this properly here. I'm going to smash the buttons right now. Stay right there, Ron.